Yo, subscribe, follow. Let's go.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, beat left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Folks, Bob Mannery here, and you're listening to Agree to Disagree, the flagship, only on A2D Radio. Uncle Sweeps, Nick DelGozzo, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn...
Of course, this is doing this to me. What's up, family? Welcome in. This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. We are brought to you every Sunday by our doc. Gotta make him yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Nick DelGozzo, Greg Milakovic, Brian Wilson, the family out there join us. What's up? It is Super Bowl Sunday, but we got a ton to talk about outside of the Super Bowl. Tons to talk about today. We'll do a crumb of the week later on in the show. Eagles' latest news. We sort of know what that ties into. Sixers versus Nets. We'll recap it. Good win for the Sixers last night. You'll take them any way you can get them. You're about to go on a 4-game road trip. So important to get wins when you can get them, and especially against a team that's undermanned, right? You know, so you got to go win that game. And it was a close one throughout it, and guess what? You went and got it done, and you dominated them in the third quarter. So, and parts of the fourth too. So good Sixers win last night. Flyers versus Capitals are live right now. Talk about the drop. So we'll give you some live reactions through that game as well. But everything today obviously ties in and is part of Super Bowl 55 and the preview to that. And that is brought to you, and our poll question is brought to you by bodycheckwellness.com. Use promo code A2D and you can save yourself 20% off. That's bodycheckwellness.com. Use promo code A2D. Save yourself 20% off. Body Check Wellness is a line of products that promote wellness, balance, and recovery. So go check them out. Bodycheckwellness.com. Promo code A2D. 20% off. Our poll question. Tom Brady will win his 7th Super Bowl. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where you can find us live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow, download, join the conversation with us today. And around, I think probably around like 1:30-ish, we'll have our guy Nate Moss on from Money Pot Podcast, and he'll be giving away some of his Super Bowl prop bets. So Nate's been doing this a long time, 5 years. You see Nate on Wednesdays sometimes with us, and as well as I jump on Money Pot with him on Saturdays, and we do some fun agree, disagree stuff. So check out Nate over at Money Pot Podcast. Stay tuned for him then. Try to win you some money on the prop bet side. So I'm not good at it, so any help I can get, I'm in. But back to our poll. Tom Brady will win his 7th Super Bowl. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. I agree because I just think that when you're talking about the Chiefs are banged up a little bit on their offensive line. And when you're without your left tackle, that's sometimes hard to overcome. Not all the time, but can be hard to overcome. If there's a team that can do it, it's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, obviously. Okay? Chiefs are loaded up. In my opinion, same are the Buccaneers. Why both teams are in the Super Bowl, obviously. And not only that, what a matchup, regardless on who wins this game. What a matchup. I mean, for not having a dog in the fight, this is a game you look forward to. Even if your dog isn't here. How can you not? Probably, if not, in my opinion, I don't care what anybody says, the greatest quarterback of all time versus a guy who's going to be chasing them down, all right, or attempting to chase them down. Looks early on that he's going to be chasing them down. So this is a big one for Mahomes on the chase talk, and a big one for Brady that he already is stamped being the greatest of all time. But this just puts, if you even have an argument, it goes away after today if he wins this football game. All right. And to me, because there's so many haters out there, I almost want to root for the Buccaneers a little bit more today. And the second thing, Andy, I love Andy. You already got a ring. I don't need any more salt on the wounds here in Philadelphia. I just don't need any more. I just don't need more. Everything that's transpired this week and everything, and over the last 3 weeks and the whole year, actually, I don't need any more salt in the wounds here in Philly. I love you, Andy. You got one. You can go get one next year. This year, no. I'm actually rooting for the Buccaneers, which makes me want to agree to the poll then. So, I'll agree to the poll. I just don't. They got a better defense, in my opinion, even though the Chiefs defense is a damn good one and they make big plays. But overall, Tampa's defense is better on all levels. Okay? And I think they are, because the Chiefs don't have the linebacking core one that the Buccaneers have. They don't. And you can say outside of Tyrann Mathieu, their D-backs aren't great either, or the Bucs. But the Bucs D-backs have really played up a level here in the playoffs. And I think their front's better overall, even though the Chiefs have two big-time studs up front and Clark and Jones. I think overall, through the four, Tampa's a little bit better. But that doesn't really matter. I mean, the Chiefs always play up. Their defense always plays up. So you can say whatever you want. I said it against Buffalo that I thought their defense wasn't as good. They always play up. The Chiefs are known when the playoffs start, their defense, no matter how they play through the regular season, they come to play. Spags always has them ready to go. So in no way, shape, or form am I knocking what Kansas City is doing here. I'm just trying to make a case on why I think the Buccaneers will win this game and win a close one. And I just everything about Brady makes me think they're going to win this game. Mahomes has them same characteristics, obviously, and he's more talented at this point in their career. It's not close. But just Tampa's been playing up too. Their defense has been getting it done. And I got to think in warm weather, their offense is going to be a little bit more explosive than it was over the last 2 weeks. I have to assume that a little bit. Assume it. They've really got it done defensively. I don't know if Winfield's back and their other safety are back. That's a big factor in this football game, because you need all your D-backs you got when you're playing the Chiefs. But it's a game that's going to be fun, and a game that I think should be high scoring. I mean, it should be. I feel like we're going to get a lot of points. We're going to get a lot of explosive plays. And wouldn't you guys say, though, and then you guys answer the poll, obviously, but wouldn't you guys say that, I think we said it's against Buffalo, but if there's another team that can score with the Chiefs to even more of that level, it's the Buccaneers. If it got in a shootout city, they can. They have the skill position players to keep up with them. So really, question comes down to, like every football game, who's going to protect? Because if they don't protect Brady, it's going to be a long one too. Let's make that clear right now too. That's as well documented over his whole career. But Mahomes, you cannot protect it, and he can still make big plays. So it's going to be really curious to see if the speed rush from Tampa can get home and get Mahomes on his ass, because that's their shot in this game if they don't protect Brady. They protected Brady all year, so for the most part, especially over this stretch. So I would assume that stays status quo. But remember, again, not taking anything away from the Chiefs. Chiefs got a damn good defensive front. They got 2 Pro Bowlers, all pros up there that create havoc in big games and have a history of doing it. Frank Clark's history goes back to Seattle. He made big plays in big games. Jones has been making big plays in big games for I feel like 4 years right now. To me, the second best D tackle in football, especially in big games. He's just another one who shows up. But I just got this Brady thing, man, right now. He shows up in a locker room and just takes the whole team to a whole nother level. I mean, granted, they were bad because of Jameis Winston. I get it. But it's the same team. And it just shows you his greatness. In a revamped offseason. And everything that comes with it. It just shows you that when greatness can walk in a room and guys are like, shit, that's Brady? Especially younger guys. That's Brady. Go listen to every word he says. And it's just funny how winning just takes over. And guys believe they're going to win, right? Like, just believing you're going to win. How funny is that? Especially come postseason, right? Because Tom's there. Tom hasn't even been the one getting it done, essentially, in the postseason for the most part, right? But it's just other guys believing that we're going to win this football game because we got Tom Brady, essentially. You know what I mean? And I just think that's funny. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes as well. But I'm talking about a 43-year-old guy who switched teams, and he's back in a Super Bowl. You couldn't write that script. We couldn't write that script here, fam. We never could. We can't write that script. That's greatness. That's like Jordan. That's Jordan level. Maybe better. Maybe better. Maybe better. It's crazy if he wins his 7th.
Yeah, Washington didn't go to the finals.
Well, I mean, that's not comparing the Wizards to the Bucs. I understand.
It was a joke.
I'm more talking 43.
I knew you weren't.
43 years old in any sport, and
Yeah.
you're still going to title games is absurd. Absurd. And it just shows you want to take care of your body, you can play for a long time in this league. If you take care of your body and you get the ball out quick, you can play to your 43. That's why Rodgers will play maybe until he's 45, the way he gets the ball out. So, boys, you guys go. I just ran it on and on and on. I don't even know where I'm going. But I'm excited for this football game. I'm excited for a matchup of the old GOAT and the GOAT versus baby GOAT. And see if he can go get it done. See who gets it done today. Who plays better? So it's going to be a good one. Should be. I don't know what their forecast is down there, Greg. It was 75% chance of rain. You know how that goes, like 4 days ago. I don't know if they're still expecting rain on kickoff or not. That's the only thing that determines maybe.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a little early, but I think we should be good for game time. But Whitehead and Winfield were full participants in practice the other day, so they're in.
Dude, it's the only shot. Listen, they don't have a shot with them two not playing. And then I'll take my whole 8-minute rant here would have been retracted like Homer Simpson going in a bush if they weren't playing. Not that they're like studs, but you need your starters to be able to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You just do. Or they already showed you they can light your lamp in the first quarter like they did the last time they played. But the biggest reason I'm taking the Bucs, outside all the bullshit I've said, is it's hard to beat a damn good team twice in 1 year. It's hard. It's hard. Not saying it's not possible. It's absolutely possible. But that's the hard part. And if there's a team that can do that, it would be the Kansas City Chiefs. So, boys, go ahead. Tom Brady will win his 7th Super Bowl. Agree or disagree?
I disagree.
How are you?
I think that Tampa Bay is going to be leading the game early. I think the Chiefs are going to come back and win the game. So I do think it's going to be a good game.
Do you think the opposite in a way? Even though Tampa never came back in that other game and won it, you're almost thinking Tampa gives off to the lead, and here comes Kansas City like last year, and they come storming back.
Yep.
Never forget the picture in the end zone.
I think Tampa's up at halftime, and then the Chiefs win the game. That's what I think. But I do think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to come down to the fact that how are they going to – I'm curious to see how Tampa Bay's defense goes after this, because obviously everyone knows Tyreek Hill had 200 yards in the first half against them earlier this year. So obviously they're going to try to limit Tyreek Hill, I would assume. So maybe it's a big Kelce game. I don't know. I just think that the Chiefs are just too unstoppable, and I do really think that Jones is going to be a big problem getting in Brady's face and going to cause some big issues for Tampa's offense. Wow. So I like the Chiefs. I do think it's going to be close, but I'm thinking like 28-24, something like that.
Yeah, I got it. Something a little different. I was going to save mine, and then we can do like MVPs and stuff throughout it too. But I'm right with you on a close game that can go either way. I do agree with the things you said. It's hard not to when you talk about two teams of this caliber. Like you could sell me on Kansas City quickly to win this game, and I'm not like, oh no, how could you say that?
It's not a week 5 game against one tomato can and one juggernaut. You're in the Super Bowl for a reason. So it's the reason why the lines are usually fairly close. Like unless it's just one of those dynasties in one of those years where teams 15-1 or something, and they're just they look to be unstoppable. Obviously it happens. The Rams, and they also lost that Super Bowl as 14-point favorites. We all know. So it happens. But for the most part, you expect it to be in a hard fought game, and I don't see today being any different. But I disagree as well. Chiefs are tough, man. Mainly because, the offense is the most obvious part, But I think that defense gets so disrespected. It's funny. People 2 weeks ago during the conference championship, we had comments saying nobody's scared of the Chiefs defense. And I'm not saying they don't have to scare you. Done a good job against did a good job against Mr. Progressive. I don't care about a fucking pylon ball. I don't care. Did a nice job there. 10 points again, Mr. Progressive. All right. And then last week, a couple late touchdowns to get them, get the Bills in the 20s, an offense that people were like, oh man, this could be a 42-40 game. And just basically shut the Bills down, and kept their foot on their throat too. So this is a better defense, than people think. You know what I mean? So, and another tall task today, but I just see him getting it done. And obviously, the Mahomes factor is, you have a factor at both quarterback positions. You know what I mean? Like, to say, anytime it's tough to bet against Brady. I mean, you almost have to, get your head examined when you bet, to bet against Brady in the playoffs. All right. But, I just feel like this is the start of a Chiefs dynasty. I'm not saying they're going to win every year, but, I expect the Chiefs, unless they fall off to get like 40s, at least 40s under Pat's regime. You know what I mean?
It's, it's already like a mini dynasty already. You know what I mean? They're already like mini dynasty because they've been doing AFC title game and now 2 Super Bowls. So they're already mini dynasty. I agree with what you're saying about the Chiefs defense too. It's like they don't come up in the stat sheet, right? They're not going to overwhelm you in the stat sheet. But every big game, there's guys on that defense that make big plays. Like, I was critical of them against Buffalo. Like, I thought Buffalo could light them up a little bit. But guess what? They expose teams that aren't ready for it too. You know what I mean? Like, they expose Cleveland. Cleveland's not ready for this moment yet. You know what I mean? They're not ready for this moment. They go head-to-head and beat the Chiefs, and their defense, that's the difference maker. The last 2 years, after the D4 at all sides, the difference maker has been the Chiefs defense makes big plays during the postseason. They just do. They're a big play defense, and it shows you can be 15 in passing yards, 15 in rushing yards, middle of the pack, but in big moments, you get off the fucking field. Right? In big moments, you create a big play. It's bigger than any stat that you can tell me because the number 1 defense in football sitting home right now. And guess what? They traded their quarterback. So that's what happened to the number 1 defense in football. And that was a shot, not shot at all of us that thought that Buffalo could score because I thought Buffalo would score more and put up a better fight. But it just shows you can't bet against either one of these teams because the things you think they don't do well will show up in big games, right? Like Tom, the biggest thing is like we know Tom shows up in big games. We just know he does. So that's a big factor. And that's a trend that's happened forever. And the other thing we know that's been a trend over the last 3 years, per se, definitely the last 2, is guess who else shows up in big games outside of Mahomes and their offense? Their defense does. Their defense just has.
Yeah, I don't care. That's what I said to me.
3 guys that are Pro Bowl calibers. That's it.
Stats are for nerds. We talked about that a million times. That's something that's a theme on our show, and that's fine. Like I said, people in all 4 majors, you can be that person. You know what I mean? Stats are for nerds, right? When the bell rings, who's going to show up? That's the guy. That's the guys I want. You know what I mean? Don't tell me they're 19th and something. Don't tell me they're 20th and something. What happens when the bell rings? All right, and that's like I said, I feel this. This team, whether they feel their offense or not, you know what I mean? They just, or the fact that they get disrespected, and it's, when you think of the Chiefs, you think of the offense, rightfully so. All right. So, whatever it is that motivates them, they get it done, like you said, in big moments, So, I'll take that. Yeah, I take that over stats any day.
Winners, winners up front and a winner in their secondary. Guys that are just.
What's up, Len?
What up, Len? Hopefully, Len. Hopefully.
Yeah. Hey, Len.
The Brady, and the Brady factor is huge. You know what I mean? So, it's not, you take nothing away from the skill set. You know what I mean? He is the GOAT. And this isn't like, sour grapes or anything, but because he's put himself in situations because he's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. The guy's also lucky. And I understand, things go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Guy's very lucky. Very, very, very lucky. You know what I mean? And like I said,
you win 6 without being lucky. Right?
He put himself in situations, but he walks in that door, it lifts everybody else up in the locker room. You get the swagger. Here comes Tommy. You know what I mean? But you also say to yourself, hey, here comes the skill set, and here comes the swagger, and here comes, here comes TB12. And then you say to yourself, I think we're going to get a couple breaks too. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about refs or anything. I'm just talking about things always go TB's way. You know what I mean? And they always say, like, hard work and opportunity, that's the, what happens. That's how you get lucky. And I get that. You know what I mean? But, I mean, if you don't think, you can be the biggest Brady supporter in your life. But you don't think that cat's lucky, too. You're I got bad news for you.
Yeah, I don't think there's a guy that, like, even MJ, right? Like,
Ball's got the Chiefs.
Even MJ, like I feel like to get his at times you run into a little bit of luck too. because it's almost like to get to the dance all the time, you're going to run into some sort of luck. If it's somebody else making a big shot for you and it's not you or whatever, you're going to have them things. But it's just crazy. I think like what really does it is what guys see is a 43-year-old with a work ethic like that, and then you do stuff and you say,
you got that championship medal, man. You know,
you start looking around like, am I doing enough work? Like, look at this guy, he's still in the field.
Yeah.
Like I was
guys show up for that shit. Yeah,
practice was over 2 hours ago. You know what I mean? Like, you know, maybe I should stick around. And I think that stuff does matter. And it just shows you, even at 43, just the leadership ability alone is so important at the quarterback position.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, I don't want to make sure like I confuse anybody or, misstatement, misspeak in the sense where like he's not, like you said, he's not the only guy. Like there's, it happens in sports. You know what I mean? So it's not like he invented, being lucky. Like, hey, I'm Tom, and like I've had a decent career, and I'm just really lucky. You know what I mean? Like that's not what I was saying. I was saying like with all those other attributes that makes him the GOAT, he's also lucky. And I understand that a lot of people have to experience that on their road to greatness. I would say that he is at the top of the list driving the car.
Oh yeah. 1-0 Caps.
Yeah, it was a hell of a shot by Vetch.
Big Dick Nick says, coming back, y'all. We'll talk about that later. Greg, to the poll. What's up, Doc? We see the Doc chiming in. He told us he can't join us today. But his horse is the Chiefs. Have a great show. Dr. Paul. That's Dr. Paul, everybody.
What's up, Doc?
Beginning of the show.
Doc.
Physical Therapy, LLC. Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web right down there. SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Doc's everywhere, baby. Doc's everywhere. Greg, to the poll.
3 Chiefs and a buck, and here goes Greg. I know where he's leaning.
Oh, no, absolutely. I agree to the poll. If I was home, I'd be rocking my Brady jersey for the show. I think it's going to be a very good game. I think this is the game.
Should have been burned. And he wanted to be back here anymore.
I was gonna say the one that we should have burned 3 years
Hey, we
ago,
won anyway, right? So it's okay.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great game. I think this is the two teams that everybody wanted to see, as the season started progressing. Tommy, you talked about the, missing Eric Fisher on the offensive line. It's going to be huge, especially when you talk about, the Bucs defense getting their safeties back, as you also mentioned. That defense just is a little bit better. But again, to Sweeps' point, when it comes down to it, what happens, right? That's all that matters. I like the Bucs today. I just think there's a little bit more distractions around the Chiefs right now. In what was a different Super Bowl lead-up week where they just came into town yesterday versus being here for a week. You know what I mean? And going, huh?
Not you. You. Right below me.
What?
You rolling your eyes at that?
Roll my eyes at the Flyers game.
Oh, okay.
That I'm watching.
Sorry, I thought you were rolling your eyes at the Andy at the a little bit of a distraction comment. I was like, that could be good.
Well, his son got in a car accident, yeah, but he's had to deal with a lot of that through the course of his career, though, so he's kind of used to it.
And that goes to Andy before getting to Kansas City not performing well in big games. Andy constantly had a lot of distractions here in Philly, and we never were able to get over the hump. Last year, when the Chiefs were able to win, it kind of almost clear sailed, right? Clear sailed through, at least distraction-wise. I'm not saying the game-wise, distraction-wise. Now, all of a sudden, you got Mahomes, his wife, or girlfriend getting ready to pop. You got Andy's son, you know what I mean? Who knows what's going on with that? I know it's all minuscule, but in a game like this and the magnitude in these two teams that are almost very equal, those types of things matter. And it's can they get over that? So I got the Bucs today, in a real feel-good story, getting Tommy his 7th.
Yeah, it's just a great matchup, and it should be a board that's pretty split here, like we have it, right? I mean, it's exactly where it should be for a game like this. I mean, I think if you polled 100 people, you're going to get a 50-50 response on a game like this. And that's what makes it a great Super Bowl. There is a lot of Super Bowls you come into, and there's heavy favorites. Heavy favorites, and some teams that don't necessarily think they belong, right? This is one of them years where you can't even make that case for either one of them. And if anybody tried to, nobody here, but if anybody tried to, they're an idiot. I mean, these are the two most deserving teams to be here. I mean, you can make the case for Green Bay. Great. Green Bay chokes all the time in title games. It's nothing fucking new. So, it's just another team winning the Green Bay and beat him again. The Lambeau mystique's gone. All right, it's gone. It's been gone. It's gone. I mean, Randy Moss sort of ended that mystique. I think Vic ended it a while back, too, when nobody was going there. So that mystique's gone. And it's sad because I love Rodgers, and he's a pimp, and either he doesn't come to play it or defense doesn't. It's usually their defense 2 years in a row that have let them down tremendously. Last year, the Niners bent them over running the football. And this year, the Bucs, essentially in the first half, the big plays. So you don't deserve to be there. You don't deserve to be there. So it's just funny. Both teams deserve to be there. The Chiefs, had to overcome in a divisional round of Mahomes being banged up the whole time and then going out and then be able to get first downs with Chad Henne. That's resiliency. That's a resilient group right there. So the only thing I'll say different to what you said, Greg, is that usually I would agree with that, but this damn group is so resilient. But you are right about Andy and his struggles family-wise affecting him as a head coach, as it should. And I think, to your point is, I think he was past all this. And to have it come up again that, he had a couple of drinks, I don't know all the facts, so I'm not going to state it. That's for a judge and jury, not for me, not a jury. But you know what I mean? That's for a judge to decide and a prosecutor, not for me. But there was a 5-year-old kid really injured in that wreck.
I don't think you guys are fully putting it on there. So I mean, I'm not going to scream and yell from the rafters and call you guys ridiculous. You know what I mean? But I would say to put put all the Eagle struggles on Andy's family life that would be a little ridiculous. And not the players. I'm just saying, you do whatever you want, have any opinion you want. You know what I mean? But if you don't want to put it at some people's feet, that's ridiculous. But that's fine.
It's at everybody's feet. I mean, player, coach, but it definitely as just a human being, I could see it having. My point is, I could see it having an effect on him.
Oh yeah.
It may be affecting him in spots, but he's not the one playing the game. He's not the one executing the routes. He's not the one making the throws. He never will be. That's why I always put less on coaches. You guys know this. I always give coaches a little bit of a benefit of doubt because they're not the ones doing it. They're just trying to get you in a place to go be your best. And if you don't go be your best, there's really nothing you can do. That's why I'm such a big fan of accountability guys and leader of men at the pro level, because most guys know X and O's enough the game plan. Now, can players go play? I just the part 2-0. The part
I'm sorry, but
I don't agree with. I can see it affecting him to his game plan not being.
Yeah, no, I understand. I said I don't know 100% either way, so that's why I wouldn't say, oh, you're completely
wrong. Care.
That's responsible to say. I wouldn't say that. You know what I mean? Who's to know? You know what I mean? But unless
he doesn't care, so maybe he doesn't give a rat's ass. Maybe it never.
Well, like I said, I look at it unless it's something really glaring. You know what I mean? We know his clock management was horrible. He's not a great timeout guy. You know what I mean? We understand all that stuff. You know what I mean? But if something was really glaring, and I know there was cases, you can go back and say, oh, that's that. I get that. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, in comparison to 2 weeks ago with fucking little loser kicking a field goal with 2 minutes to go, that's a head coach. That's a head coach that I don't know if they would have got it. That's a head coach that put his handprint on a loss in my eyes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. I would say,
You can, to your point, you can help lose games. You know what I mean? As a head coach. I'm just wondering if it maybe it's the type of thing that doesn't affect him because he's been through it so much. You know what I mean? And been through it so much that at this point, his focus is on going to win another Super Bowl. The only thing,
and historically, he has been outcoached though in the Super Bowl. I mean, I feel like he was outcoached last year. Patrick made a bunch of big plays in the third and fourth quarter.
There you go. That's a difference maker. Greatness don't matter who's coaching it. We know that from Tom now. We learned that from Brady. Don't give a rat's ass who's coaching you. You have the work ethic and the abilities to be great. Doesn't matter who's coaching you. Coaching helps you at a young age. Get you going a little bit. But after a certain point, and the great thing Andy is, not taking anything away, Andy's a big part of the reason Mahomes is a pimp too. Not the only reason, just a part of the reason Mahomes is a pimp. The dude's a QB whisperer, always has, not saying that I'm not giving it all to Andy. Like, that's not fair, but I'm saying, like, what a perfect situation.
Perfect storm, yeah.
Mahomes. Like, a bunch of QBs just in the last, 4 years, if they would have went to Andy, maybe even better than they are. You could probably make a case for everybody but Trubisky. Better than they could be, probably better than they are.
Well, he probably would have turned Trubisky into what Alex Smith was.
Yeah, true.
He would have won games there if they got him. You know that.
And you're absolutely
gets the most out of him. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Andy was the perfect guy to get Patrick as young as when he did, right? Because there was just a lot of question marks coming out of Texas Tech, just because he was coming out of the Big 12. No skill set, but just can you really play it at a high level? And then, of course, Andy gets his mitts on him and turns him into this.
Also, you got to tip your cap to Andy he's very good at picking out the guy he wants. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like not a lot of people thought Patrick was going to go top 10. Andy moves up, takes him 10th or 11th, whatever it was, and then now you see what happens. So you got to give that to him.
Yep.
Yeah, and to your point, Sweeps, I wasn't saying all of the Eagles' struggles were on Andy, but it was just like an accumulation of when something happened, it reflected on the field as well. You know what I mean? So no, you're absolutely right. Players play, but again, it's just Wilson even said it as well. In big games, he kind of struggles coaching wise, and it's just now you just add that little distraction of shit. I'm going through this again.
No, all the time, all the time, and Donovan had a big part of them struggles. The defense was part of them struggles. Everybody had a part in different NFC title games. Everybody.
Alex Smith was part of them struggles.
If you just look at it, like the title game against Arizona, we had the lead. The defense can't get off the field, right? We give it up. Other games, our offense couldn't put up more than 17, right? Yeah. We get shut down. We couldn't make big plays. So the list goes on blames on our 5 title games, or four of them, and 5th when we went to a Super Bowl, and then that's a whole other argument on who you put that at the feet of, for sure. But it's just a cumulative effect. I agree, Greg, but not totally to his kid, to his personal issues. Just as an organization, I think it's like the Brady effect, right? When you're constantly going, you believe you're going to go, right? When you don't go and you constantly get there, you don't believe you're going to win it. And I think that's the difference maker. It becomes a trend, right? It becomes a trend of being on the doorstep. Oh, look at the Buffalo Bills. It became a trend of just getting on the doorstep.
Yep. You're always the bridesmaid, not the bride.
Yeah, when they knock, nobody answering. That's for sure. There's some big ass snowflakes coming down right now. Holy shit.
But listen, it's just like I said, it's just a fun game. It's a good game.
Yes. Flyers scored.
Lawton?
You guys are ahead of me.
Who was that? Lawton,
yeah.
Scotty.
But no, we're gonna have we're gonna
Scotty.
We're gonna continue to talk Super Bowl at the 1:30 mark too, because we're gonna have Nate Moss on Money Pop Podcast giving out some prop bets for today. So we'll give our scores out during that time, and we'll give our full predictions out, MVP of the game, and then we'll go off. Obviously offensive, defensive players of the game, and obviously one of them is going to be the MVP, most likely the offensive side of football. Usually how it goes, unless you pull Larry Brown. Unless Larry Brown comes out, Larry Brown 3 picks in the arm, throwing right fucking to him, and then he got a $90 million deal to stink. But listen,
Dexter Jackson too, right? Or who was the other guy? Tampa Bay guy, same thing.
The Tampa Bay guy was Dexter Jackson.
Yep.
Dexter Jackson, another Super Bowl MVP. Yep. Got paid. Stunk.
Went to Oakland. Stunk.
Stunk. Let's get to. Obviously, we're going to be watching this game. It's 2-1. 2-1 Caps right now. Lawton just scored for the Flyers. Our defense is atrocious. I know Jake said that earlier. Let's talk a little. You guys want to save? We can save the Eagles talk to the very end because it'll probably tie in the crumb of the week. So we can sort of save that, if that makes sense, because it's going to be part of my crumb. So if you guys want to save that conversation, we can we can segue to a little Sixers talk and discuss this little 4-game road trip. It's actually long. It's actually like over a week, but it's only 4 games. Like I was scrolling through the other night. I feel like it's like longer than a week. It's like a week and a half for 4 games. I could be wrong, but it's a little road trip. So I know Wilson's excited. A little 10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, it's the West Coast trip?
Sweeps excited.
I do like it. This 10 p.m. start.
My boys that have to work a little late are jacked up. I used to when I was doing baseball this time of year. Before this year, obviously, you know, I was love the West Coasters. Just get home, just having dinner, giddy up, tip off. We got this all night. I love West Coasters. I love this basketball team. I love this starting 5. I do think there's weaknesses on this team in spots that can be addressed, like bench wise. But this starting 5 is something really good. It's nothing to do about last night. Like they are just really good together. I mean, you're 13-0 playing together. That's not a joke anymore. Like I say that every week or every time they win together because it becomes another one. You know, when you talk about 13-0, that's a trend that you 5 can flat out play together. Flat out play together. And I don't give a shit who was missing on the Nets last night. Just like I didn't give a shit who was missing on the Trailblazers. This is the NBA. Okay? There's no excuse for that Trailblazers loss. But guess what? I'm going to say this a million times. Back in NBAs, that kind of shit happens. It just does. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no thought process behind it. They're a 10-point favorite, and they get doored. All right? That's what makes Vegas rich. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It just happened. I told Brad Ryder we're trying to.
There is a rhyme and reason for it.
There is.
It's NBA regular season, and they don't fucking care.
Oh, and my dad said it well. He's like, "What the hell are they doing on the road?" Flying and they play a game at home back to back. I said, you know how it is. This is what they do.
Yeah.
It's almost like they want to put losses on your schedule that you don't think are going to be losses. And it's no excuse. It's just, I told Brad Ryder, you think every NBA team's winning every game, bro? They're going 72-0. There's hiccups. That's why the Nets game becomes important last night. Because you can't lose to a team that's undermanned. And you say whatever you want. They still got James Harden playing. And we all know that can go for a 45 spot and keep anybody in a game. You know what I mean?
All the other guys get paid to play too. So I know they're not obviously they're not Durant and Irving, but they're paid to play too.
They are, and I think it's unfair. It's not unfair to be critical of that loss to Portland.
You can't lose 2 games in a row to undermanned teams. To your point,
that were last year's teams. That were last year's, or the year before, and we're just not good enough. But now we are because we're proving that. We're proving by our responses to shit. Right? And we were proving that we go on a 14-0 run last night, lock all windows indoors, night, Brooklyn. I mean, that's the difference. So, and I know people, listen, we can be critical of Ben Simmons all we freaking want at times. But if you don't think this offense runs better, if you don't think this defense is better, if you don't think this basketball team's better, be critical like I am of plenty of times about aggressiveness. Don't stop. Don't stop. But if you don't think that he doesn't matter. It's like all the jabrones last year. Oh, Joe and Ben can't play together. They're fucking 13-0 together right now, honey. So wake the fuck up, okay? Because they can play together. So I'm tired of them. They play better together. This team plays better when there's a distributor of the caliber of Ben Simmons. I mean, he gets guys open looks. I hate when he's not aggressive. But last night's a stat line that if you give me that every night, you will never hear a peep from me. 16, 12, and 8. I go to bed feeling good because you were 7 for 10. You were aggressive. You got to the rim. I like how you let Tyler Johnson know, shut the F up. I like it. I like it. This is all we ask for in this city. Something between your legs. Be aggressive. His defense is, listen, you can't even run from it anymore. And I know it doesn't show up on a stat sheet, but it absolutely does. If you just watch him. If you just watch this guy defensively. And I think, and I'll make an excuse. I want your guys' thoughts on this.
It has to be on the court for us. Has to be.
I think what happened during all the trade stuff, right? Harden or whoever else, right? When his name was mentioned a million times. I think it affected his offensive game a little bit too. Not making an excuse. If you're looking at it, them rumors sort of went to bed and he's played better basketball. And I think Doc's helped in that too. Because Doc praises him every minute he gets after every game. I mean, the guy's like, Doc's on his knees for how much his offense needs him and defense. And that's not a crown. This isn't a crown party because there's flaws still. All right? There's still flaws. So this isn't a crown party. This is just peeps. We always think the grass is goddamn greener. and it's going to turn into our Eagles conversation. The grass isn't always greener. Okay? We got something really good right now. Let's enjoy it.
Shitty
Let's
grass.
rally around it. We're going to run Ben out of town. We're not shooting. Hell no. I don't care if you ever take a jump shot ever. If you give me 16, 12, and 8. Okay? If you're giving me 20, I don't care if you ever shoot a jumper if you go to the basket like a man on a mission. And he compared him. He said, you know what? He goes, I don't know if there's another guy in this league. Maybe LeBron, he said, which is right. That gets guys open looks like this. He's like, he's like, there's not many guys.
Without a jump shot.
Without a jumper. It's almost like they know you're passing. And he showed the other night, like not the loss of Porter. It's just one example. You can't, first off, you're not good enough to win without Ben or Joe. You know why? Because as much as we're critical of Ben sometimes, they're both fucking stars.
The defense is just so much better with them on the court.
They're both stars, guys. So it's like you're not going to win without one of the two. You will sometimes, you know what I mean? But the trend of it, you're not going to be successful.
We actually seem.
Boy, you would have got Bradley Beal back.
We seem to win more when Ben or when Joe is out than when Ben is out, though, which is kind of strange.
Well, yeah, because we don't win without Ben.
Yeah, never. Or I think it's
We
like
haven't.
7 and 19 when Joe plays and Ben doesn't, and like 50 and 50 when Ben plays and Joe doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
The biggest issue there is that Joe's missed 100 games, but but yeah, you're 100% right, Tom. You have to have Ben on the court. I mean, like you said, you saw in the Portland game, they're without their two best guards at scoring and distributing and running the team. They're without their two best players, and they still got whatever they wanted offensively all night long. And if we traded Ben, that's what we're going to see every fucking game. It's going to be – you can't even watch the – we're going to be watching the fucking a less talented Nets team letting up 135 a game. Terrible. Awful. And I love these people that think that Brooklyn Nets are good. Stop it. Fucking stop it. Stop it. They fucking stink. They play no defense. They will never win the playoffs. No chance. They're flashy. They're flashy. Oh, they're flashy. Fuck you, dude.
Stink's not a fair word. Not good enough to win it, sure, but stinks sort
Their
of.
defense stinks.
Their defense does, but
well, yeah. I mean, our offense is really good. Obviously, they're going to score the most points ever in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, for games because
like an all-star game. Well,
less games.
And a star league.
Was it All-Star weekend?
Yeah. But they're going to let up 130 points a game.
Yep. In a star league, they got 3 stars. You know, yippee-ki-yay. You know what I mean? They, like I said, if you're going to give up 148, you know what I mean? Like, you know, good luck with that. You know what I mean? And obviously, Steve Nash, I respect the guy, you know, when he played and stuff, but like he seems to be, you know, a Tyronn Lue 2.0. You know what I mean? He's a puppet boy. You know what I mean? Now, maybe not because he played for D'Antonio, so maybe he thinks this is a style that can't win. He'd be right.
Right? Like he's watched this style not win.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
would have thought he'd be able to come up with a different style that can win in the NBA.
He knows this style can't win, and he's like, let's run it.
Well, they also traded away their. I mean, the biggest issue I think was they should have tried to figure out how to not trade Jared Allen in that deal because they lost any sort of rim protector they have. DeAndre Jordan's just too fucking old, so they really struggle inside. Like if we played them in the playoffs, I'd throw the ball to Joe 75 fucking times in the game.
Yeah, and
just dominate them.
But that's where last night kind of frustrated me a little with Joe, and he had a great game. But he got 2-3 happy last night with Jordan. You know what I mean? Taking 7.
Jordan's not covering him, so he's wide open.
But he wasn't hitting any.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
If you hit two, then shoot a third. But,
absolutely. You know, once you're 1 for 4, 1 for 5. All right, let's shut it down for the night.
hey, threes aren't falling. Let's get inside.
1 for 7 from 3. He still had 33.
No, absolutely. That's what I said. I'm a little
like,
critical.
He's like, no, I'm not.
He's just a beast.
I'm just kidding you. I'm saying that's the kind of dominance and dominant year he's having. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's just messing around 1 for 7, and then they still got 33.
Oops.
The one time they were up 12 and they were on the break and they got it right to him in the post, which I loved because they were already up 12. And it was like another big possession. And I think it was a turnover. And who knows who it went off of. But that was like another telling sign that like the coaching's changed, right?
Uh-huh.
The styles changed. They're really, You know, we've always said we don't care if he shoots the 3 ball. You know what I mean? Shoot it because you have the ability to knock him down. You know what I mean? You're going to have nights where you're off. But the fact of all that, he still walking the 33. I didn't look at his field goal percentage, but I'll guarantee it's lights out like it always is.
50, 55%.
10 for 21.
It's like
47.
That's a bad night for him, too. That's a bad night for him. And that's a good night for a lot of damn guys. You know what I mean? Like, that's a night where he's probably saying to himself, getting home, I should have had 40 plus. You know what I mean? So
Well, 9 for 14 outside the 3 ball.
Yeah.
And that's where he kills you. And that's where
Exactly.
he'll eat you up. And if he hits 2 out of them 7, or 3 out of 7, which he's extremely capable of doing, you know, and you talk about a 40 night, you know what I mean? Probably, or close to it, you know what I mean?
That was the crazy thing, because you're absolutely right. Early in the first quarter, I think he was 0 for 3 in the first quarter on threes, and he had 15 points. And I'm like, Jesus, could you imagine what would have happened if he would have hit 1 or 2 of them? Like, this game wouldn't have been close early on.
His mid-range game, like, you know what I mean?
And that's what kills me, because you're absolutely right, Tommy. I love that mid-range game. That fake 2-dribble jump shot from the foul line.
He's got that all game too.
That to me is that's Timmy's bank shot, right? That 2-dribble, 1-dribble foul line pull up is Timmy Duncan's bank shot off the wing. It's money.
It's unguardable.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to pack it in. They're going to try to get him to not be down low. So that shot, he has that shot all game.
And you know what the difference from this year and last year is that the difference this year is he actually has the spacing to play with his back to the basket more. You know, last year he didn't have that as much as that spacing of guys that can really, you know, for the most part, hit the 3. Right, when you talk about Danny Green, we talk about Seth Carey and Tobias, you're talking about 3 guys right there can hit the 3. Now, if you want to space it differently, he has the ability to hit the 3. So that the whole Ben shooting 3 doesn't bother me because 4 out of your 5 guys can hit it and hit it consistently. So it allows you to get away with that in a way. Make sense? It allows you to have the 5th guy be more of a distributor because there is so many basketballs to go around. Something else I really liked from last night is Danny Green got into it a little bit on a no call, okay? And I know Alice said he should have shot at it sooner. No, every NBA guy tries to get that call, all right? And there's a ton of contact, and everybody gets it. And he got teed up for it, right? And you're like, come on, dude, right? But what I love is I'm such a response junkie. You know what I mean? Such like, how do you respond to the tee, right? You can respond to the tee by going hit back-to-back threes from that same spot again, and it really helped us on that 14-0 run. It changed the whole game. And I love it because the energy. Sometimes in a long season and in a growing season like baseball, NBA, hockey, you need some internal things that just get you going that night, especially a veteran, especially guys who've been playing forever. Like, you just need them things. And a little chirping, right? A little chirping, a tee. And then you're like, come on, Danny, we're in a close game here. Boom, 2, 3. Okay, Danny, you're back. You know what I mean? And that's all you look for out of a little response. And I saw that all out of him. You know, when Ben got teed. And they all just kept being aggressive.
Tyler Johnson won, yeah.
So it's good win. Nothing to like crown about, but a good NBA win at home. And
I feel like the refs were against them last night too. Some shitty calls.
That one ref was tee happy. I think he teed them up all 4.
He teed Harden up too early.
And Jordan, he teed all. I think he had all the 4 tees. He wasn't having it last night.
I felt like it was a poorly officiated game last night.
You know what it is, Wells? Hi, I'm here. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys know I was here. I had a bad night's sleep. Right? A bad night's sleep. I'm miserable, and I'm on a tea party.
Like you always say, Tom, it's not about them. Guys didn't come to see them.
Nope. No. And the funny thing is that like you would think, I don't know. I would like to know this, but I would wonder if there's more teas this year than in the past because they hear more. You know what I mean? Like,
possible. It's definitely an easier year for the refs because they ain't hearing shit from the crowds.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to me, I don't know. I'm just different because I guess I was a yapper, but like as a ref, I would eat it up and I just give it back to you. I tell you, shut the fuck up. That's all. You know what I mean? Like,
Dwight sweep.
You can say whatever you want. Dude, shut the fuck up. All right.
What do they do to Dwight when he complains? He gets called on everything. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
So Dwight complains about every call, and that's why he gets called on everything. Because it's their way of giving it back to him. You know what I mean? And same thing to what you're saying. If you're yapping at me, fine. Guess what, though? Since you're yapping, I'm looking for everything.
There's nothing the NBA refs like more than calling everything on Dwight Howard. Anytime he touches the guy, it's a foul.
What up, Pete?
So what do we got?
What up, Pete? The
Pistol
other
Pete Evans.
to your point though, at that Danny Green, those 2 threes on that run, that's also what cemented Harden from not coming back in the game.
True.
Because it was close at that point, and I think it was about that time where he and Jordan and those guys were, Harris were about to come back in, kind of, obviously with the
Probably say he
rotation.
didn't want to come back because he's a pussy.
Most likely. But then Danny Green hits those threes and we go on that run. And
It went from
there.
Went from 4 to 14 real quick, didn't
Yep.
it? Yeah, it did. Couple steals, couple 3 balls.
And I'm really happy Seth finally saw the bottom of the basket.
Ben got Sprite commercialed, and then Corky had to clean it up.
Because you could see the weight lifted off his shoulders when he finally hit that 3. And then the ball started going in. I mean, that's just shooter's touch.
Yeah, because we understand the game. Remember a couple weeks ago, before COVID, everybody was like, "Oh my God, 60%, man! I think we have Steph Curry. It's so awesome." Relax. You got a nice little player. Somebody mentioned that he was the closer last week, and we laughed at that. We laughed at that. That was giggle central. Love Seth. Great signing. Sit in the corner, do your thing, brother. All right, and you're not going to be at 60%. Anybody that thought that, just stop. Start watching golf or something else.
And the fact that
knowing 50 though,
and understanding that he just went through the battle with COVID. He's still saying he's not feeling 100%.
Yep.
And when in a league where stamina matters and your legs matter, it's definitely going to affect his ability because he's been downright atrocious since he's came back. I don't expect him to be that bad. I don't expect him, like Sweet said, to be as lethal as he was early on. I expect somewhere in the middle, and somewhere in the middle is semi last night. 11 points, 2 for 3 from 3. If Seth gives you 15 a night, you're getting a huge win. That's where Shake Milton and Fergie are so important to this team. They got to score.
You had 7 guys last night.
I was just talking more about the percentage. Like you said, yeah, whatever you get, like you said, if you can get it.
No, I agree with you. And he's not going to shoot a 70% clip all year. My God, look at this, Steph. It's Steph reincarnated. They're twins, really. No, he's going to be somewhere reasonable. But the more
he shoots open looks, he could be 50. I think he was 52 2 years ago.
He could. It just depends on how much he's shooting too. If he's shooting too much,
shoot open looks. If he's shooting open looks,
if he's shooting too much, he's going to struggle at times.
Yeah.
So he's a smaller guard too.
Listen, I think they probably tell him the same thing that we would tell him. If you're open, fucking shoot it. If you're not, then don't force it. But if you're open, shoot it.
Yeah.
This team already moves the basketball pretty well as a group already.
Absolutely. I think we have great ball movement.
27 assists last night, which is a good night. Tells you
7 guys in double figures. 7 guys double figures. You're obviously your whole starting 5 in double figures.
And he shot 51% from the field as a group. Yeah,
you're going to win games doing that.
Pretty good. And you held the other group, granted, missing guys, the 44%. Still maybe a little high for what they had out there, but still, a lot of that was in the first half for them. They were hitting most of their shots early. They struggled in the second half, and this is what we've been able to do to teams. Our adjustments too. Wear them
down.
Right? We don't give coaching too much credit, but we got to give it credit in this situation because we're seeing a difference in a basketball team. Plus, talent helps too. So having Danny and Seth definitely help you offensively, but you're just seeing a difference with everything. You're seeing a different level of defense. We talked about the 2-3 zone that got thrown out of nowhere in Indy, and they shut him down in the fourth quarter. That's good coaching. That's good coaching because we needed a spark in that basketball game. We stunk, and defense lit a spark for us. And Doc, a lot of coaches say it, but teams don't do it. But he talks about it consistently since the day he got here. If we want to win in the playoffs, right, and win games consistently, we got to play great defense.
Yeah, a lot of teams have good players. You know what I mean? So, and we got 2 superstars, and it hasn't worked up until this year, and it's still early on. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot of factors that go into it. You know what I mean? Coaching is one of them, and and getting the right guy, and and putting the right guys in spots to knock down shots. You know what I mean? Like I said, we've always said, like, I don't care what, if Ben ever shoots. You know what I mean? Just, be aggressive and find the open man and leave it up to those guys. You know what I mean? So
I don't want to get the pom-poms out for a third straight week, but be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Yeah.
That's all we ask. And like you said, the defense is such key because, listen, you're going to miss shots. There's going to be nights that you miss shots. It's the NBA. It's basketball. The ball's always not going to go in, but defense always travels. If the defense always plays well, you're always going to have a shot to win.
Makes up for nights. It makes up for nights that you are playing as well offensively, and it gets you in transition, and it does other things for you. If you play defense, it turns into good offense.
And we're lethal in transition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, probably besides maybe LeBron and maybe Harden, there's probably no other guy in the NBA you want in transition more than Simmons. So anytime you can get out in transition, that's what we want to do.
Yeah, especially when postseason comes too. I mean, you can't say enough about a 6'11" guy in transition with easy buckets.
I mean, we got like 5 shooters. You know what I mean? So that's why we were always saying before we don't need them to shoot. You know what I mean? Like let the other guys do the heavy lifting. You just keep putting your handprint, on the defensive end. Like Willie said, get out in transition, rebound, and get to the hoop and improve your free throw percentage. And that's all I ever wanted out of him. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be a shooter. It just amazes me how much people wanted him to be this great drop dead shooter. You know what I mean? Like, we got 5 other guys. If all 5 of those guys are shooting well on one night, we're going to score 150 and we're going to blow dudes out. You know what I mean? So all we need is two or three of those guys to shoot well, on any particular night. You know what I mean? And the big man keep dominating. So two or three of those guys shoot well on any given night. The big man dominates like he's been doing, and we're an issue.
If your big guy shooting 55% and he's shooting the ball 22 times, you're fine. If everybody else does their job, you know what I mean? Like night in, night out, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be all right because he's setting y'all up to shoot over 50% as a team, and that's why it's just so important how the offense is run right now, and it's so exciting because it's actually ran through our best player, and like we talked about it before too. TObias has just been a definition of consistency this year. I mean, he had a couple iffy games early on, but after that, man, I mean, he's every night he's giving you consistent TObias numbers. And
he was all over the floor last night.
Yeah, you can't run from that. It's so important to know a guy's walking into 20 a night.
He's played much better defense than in the past. I feel like too.
Yeah, he didn't shoot the long ball last night at all. But it didn't matter. He still had 21 points, and he had double-double.
Goes back to accountability. You know what I mean? Like Doc said, hey, listen, you want to play for me, you gotta play. You gotta play defense too, Toby. You know what I mean? We're gonna need you on the offensive end, to make shots and be, but you gotta play defense,
And TObias talked about,
What up, Pop?
Not a long off season, but talked about getting stronger to be able to play the 4 better because he knew he was going to be playing the 4. So he really worked on putting on a few pounds of good muscle to be able to play the 4 better and play better defense, right? And you've seen it. It's a guy. Listen, if you ever hear TObias talk, I mean, that's a great man. Like, that's a great dude. Like, just listen to TObias have a conversation, and you're like, I like TObias a lot. Like, you really do. Like, unfucking selfish, right? A guy who's a max guy. Max guy, remember this. Most max guys want to shoot the ball 25 times a fucking night, okay? Most maxes. They do. Or, right? But TObias is so unselfish. Sometimes it hurts him because he's so unselfish. Just like it gets Ben sometimes, right? Because they're so unselfish at times, it hurts them. But guess what unselfishness does at the end of the day when you have a fucking pimp in the middle? Guess what it does? It's going to win you something. It's going to get you to where you want to get to. It just is. And then there's times you got to be selfish. Let's go. Let's go.
I was behind you on that one. Hey-o. Is that Scotty again?
Yeah, Scotty again.
Yeah, it was.
Scotty. Oh, boy. You know what I'm saying, though, guys?
Let's go, lots.
Look, unselfishness matters. The reason the Warriors were so good for the time they were is one, they had a ton of star talent. But unselfishness comes into play. Like, Draymond Green's not a scorer, but he took even less scoring, right? to just like own his role on that team, right? You got to sort of like find your roles and your niches on teams and own it. And that's what creates teams that win championships. You know what I mean?
Derrick Rose was just sent to the Knicks.
Was he?
Yeah, for Dennis Smith Jr. Interesting. Interesting.
That's
Well, the
weird.
Knicks are trying to make the playoffs.
That means Knicks aren't trading Julius Randle. They're going to try and make a run for that 8 seed.
Oh, they're going to try to make the playoffs. The Knicks, yeah.
I like that.
I mean,
move.
listen, I like what Thibodeau's doing over there. Knicks, considering their limitations that they have in their roster, the Knicks are playing pretty good ball.
Yeah.
They have that kid.
Yeah, they are. Tibbs, I love me some Tibbs.
Yeah, Tibbs a good coach.
Who's the kicker from Kentucky they have?
Knox.
Julius Randle.
No. A young kid they drafted this year, teammates with Maxey. Quickly? No.
Yeah. Quickly. Yeah.
Quickly, right? He's a dude. He can play. They got some good guard play. They really do. Now you had Derrick Rose in the mix. Really good guard play in New York. A lot of guards, but a lot. And he played for Tibbs before too,
In
right?
Chicago, I think.
So,
Like I said, young kids, man, it goes back. Like I still can't believe the Dennis Smith thing, and I've missed on a ton of guys, but I'm not trying to puff it here. I'm just telling you, I watched that ACC tournament, and he was a dog, and he was a squid, and I said, this guy, no thanks on Dennis Smith Jr. And it came. That's one thing that came before.
You were correct. What's it called? The guy that I was wrong about was the dude from Providence, Chris Dunn. I thought he was going to be a beast. He's barely even in the league.
Hey, why we got our chests out? Because I love a chester. I'm gonna
puffer fish tall.
Fucking motherfucker. Make that save. It's an easy save.
Oh, come on. You gotta have that one, Carter.
Why we got our chest out? Because I love it. Another guy on that team that I loved from his tournament in Kentucky, and it showed you a lot on what kind of guy he was Julius Randle. When people talk about undersized A, B, C, and D, and he won.
It took him a few years, but he's put it together now.
Yeah,
he's a damn good player.
There were some people that like hated him, and I was like, I would love Randall somehow in this draft because watch him in the tournament, you're like, the dude's just freaking 110 miles an hour. I mean, he's undersized, but he's 110. You got to assume that. Would he go off a skate?
He's really put it together now.
He didn't go off anything.
I mean, his guy fucking screened him, but that's a save he's got to have.
Who's that? Chris Hart in that today?
Yeah, that's hard.
That's
Not for supper. Fucking crowd too early. Shit. Giving up over 3.5 goals a game. It's a joke. It's supposed to be, save it.
We don't play any defense, which doesn't help.
I'm not running him out of town. Sorry. Let me calm down. I just said grass is greener.
Reel it in. Reel it in. A2D fishing. Reel it in.
No nets. I love when they put that in there. No nets.
No nets.
Some guy earlier
What's
on.
up, Drew? I
Some
saw
guy
my buddy
earlier
Drew
on
chime
said,
in a little bit ago.
What up, Bryce? Some guy earlier on said, this guy talks too much. The fucking sports show.
Would you like us to just fucking stand here and sit?
Subtitles. This guy was surfing around for a Sunday matinee. Subtitles.
That's you can give him one of the old. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, well,
That's great.
every time. Like I try to check myself. Sometimes I feel like I get too excited. I say a million words. I get it. I'm a high volume shooter. I'm hard.
Yeah.
I'm hard if I make
he's definitely hard. He's not Embiid, that's for sure.
I try to check myself. I get excited.
Back to back to Randall real quick. I mean, that's like I said, once again, coaching. You know what I mean? Like I love me some.
Guys come a long way.
I love me some Tibbs. Yeah. No, he just hasn't just come on the scene this year. He's had a couple good seasons in a row.
Yeah,
but
the season with New Orleans, he was when he like kind of turned the corner. I feel like after he got traded.
Last year with the Lakers, he had a semi good year. You could see the development starting to happen from his outside game, not his inside game.
But I mean, like Tibbs will hold you. He's a defensive guy. You know what I mean? So I think his rebounds, I think, are up. Assists.
Oh, they're rebounds and assists are way up.
Way up.
Yeah, he's like a full player now for them.
Yeah.
He does everything. Yeah. Yeah, I have him in fantasy. He's having a huge year for me.
Wait. Dad,
What up, you?
Dad, what the fuck are we doing? We're raising hands like we're in the classroom, Dad? Come on. No, we worked with each other long enough that we know when somebody's about to go, and I'll shut it down. And I shut myself down. Like, I mean, come on. Now we got to make a transition in the studio. You know, you almost give a leg tap when we were together, or you just felt.
It's a little easier when you're together. It's a little tougher, but we've been doing the Zooms for a while now. I think we got it.
Zoom. I think he was just clowning the other guy. Zoom.
Oh yeah, no, he was definitely clowning the other guy.
I know,
I like that.
I love
What
that.
up, Q?
Shoot. That's right.
What up, Q?
Don, what happened?
Oh,
What happened, Don? You know, you got
Jeremy,
Dennis Jr. back.
Jeremy Grant's my guy.
I love Jeremy Grant.
That's my guy.
I know you are, Ted. We love you, brother. We love you. A guy with a name Bend Over it says a lot.
Yeah, Ted. We knew you were on
God,
our side there.
It's him. every other week he ends up on a milk carton. Ben Drover.
Listen. So we got two good teams in this city, and it feels good. Let me get this link over to Nate too, so we can bring him in here in a second. We'll give all our Super Bowl picks. And
Thanks, Ryan. He's your agent? That's good. That's good agent talk right there.
you are.
Good agent talk. All right, so make sure anytime Tom stops talking, make sure one of us talk.
Listen, I don't know what.
Thanks for the opportunity, Tom.
Yeah, we're just here for the opportunity.
Hey, appreciate it.
You guys
People helping people.
About time you guys thanked me.
Salvation Radio Army. Appreciate it.
No.
You want to save this dog? $1 a month. You can.
You like to sponsor a Bearded Jackass, right? Please put $1.50 in the tip jar. Thank you.
Super chat. If you want to support Wilson's 5 a.m. drinking, you can just throw it in the super chat, fam.
What up, Tori? Let's go.
We're back.
I'm so far.
Hag!
It's ridiculous.
Hag!
I wish I had the over.
It's already over.
I'm surprised you don't have the over. Like you're the definition of the over junkie.
I would never take it under.
We definitely don't bet unders. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I wish
This is like
I
Max.
didn't I say I had the under. I'm saying I wish I had the over.
That's my favorite thing of all time was like back in the day. Like, I like the over in this game. I like the over in this game. What about this game? I don't like that game. So you like the under? No, I just don't like it. I don't bet unders.
That's just insanity. I mean,
hashtag no unders.
Especially in college. I mean, college football, college basketball. You have to absolutely.
If you bet under, you should be punched in the face.
Yeah, I was saying, you got to take a goddamn frying pan to the face. I mean, you can get 7 overtimes to stick a fucking needle right in your dick hole, and then in college hoops they foul down 12. There's a fucking 50 seconds left, down 12, and they're fouling. Like, excuse me.
Can get back in this one. Can get back. Is this rock and jock? Is there a 10-point shot?
I mean, I've seen like 13 points scored in fucking 30 seconds in college.
Guys taking Big 12 unders.
I don't think McGrady's out there.
Big 12 unders. Gotta love Big 12 unders or Pac 12 unders. Good call.
Jesus.
Good call. All right, I'm gonna get this over to Nate.
Just take the under if Virginia's playing.
We're gonna be talking about it.
Virginia don't like overs. Besides that, you can take the over in pretty much every other game.
Yeah, Virginia is for lovers and unders.
And unders. Yep. Yep.
Stay tuned for the Fire Howie thing, okay? Because there's something more I wanna bring up to the people. All right, and I think. And I think the more I'm gathering here that, yes, is there blame that needs to go to Howie Roseman? Absolutely. But when that report came out that said the problem's still here in the organization, I personally do not think that was about Howie Roseman. That's about the guy above Howie Roseman, who has now gotten involved in 2 consecutive drafts. 2. You know why DK Metcalf ain't here? Ask Jeffrey. You want to know why Jalen Hurts is here? Ask Jeffrey. He wanted a seat at the table. He wanted to be a part of player personnel. Howie Roseman's just his yes man and his puppet to his bullshit. That's why he's still here. Think about it.
Man.
Think about it. It's a joke. Jerry Jones light. His ego, since he won his little Super Bowl, he thinks he's Robert Kraft. It's ridiculous. I'm sick of it.
Without the massages.
Disgusting that an owner has got his handprint in drafts.
He bought a wife. Greg doesn't need the massages.
He just needs a couple stamps.
He's got a mail order bride. He don't need a massage.
He just needs some postage.
He gets that rub and tug every day, Greg. He already paid for that.
Yeah, that shit's been paid for. That shit's been paid for.
He just needs a local UPS store. That's all.
Calls his buddy Wilson for packages.
Hey, you got a 6-foot package coming in? Eastern Europe? If it's making any noises, just tell it to shut up.
Dude,
oh,
guy's like a 50-year-old owner where you're like, he's progressive, right? He's almost 70, okay? So it's not like get your hands off of it, all right? If you want to win, you won because you didn't put your handprint on it. You just handled hiring head coaches. Do what you've done well, you jackass.
Just sit up there with your fucking wife and fucking drink some cocktails and enjoy the show. Stop getting involved. Write the checks and shut the fuck up.
Seriously.
And that's what's annoying.
All you need is a pocket full of fucking gel pens. That's it. All right. I want to hear nothing out of you. I just want to make sure that your fucking pocket's loaded with fucking gel pens.
A nice good writing utensil.
Yeah.
Get them checks written.
Not a bic, not a pencil, not a bic, not a pencil. Fucking gel pen, right?
I prefer G2. G2.
Both wrong. Hold on. You guys are all wrong. You know why? You know why you guys are wrong? He doesn't need the pen anymore. I mean, the virtually signed a contract.
Just run one off the pipe.
It's easy nowadays. You don't even need the pen. You need the automatic signature. So
I'm an old school guy, buddy.
He's probably got one of them old school things where he just stamps his signature on everything.
You're talking to a dinosaur here, buddy. I need a pen.
I know I'm talking about.
I know I'm talking.
Sweeps is like, I don't know about these virtual signatures, okay? I don't know about this.
Sweeps thinks everybody has to get them now. You know what I mean? Sweeps almost like not virtual. You got no shot of him putting this shit out virtually. I mean, Howie could be signing things virtually for Jeffrey, and we don't even know about it. So, I mean, there is ways around. Stamping his name. Fucking Christ. This is what it's come to. It's got an owner that's too involved in a football.
Rung it off the pipe.
And to me, that's where this organization's going south big time. Because we talked about it for months. When you start losing, where's it start at, fam? Starts up top. Works its way down. It's not a one-person problem when you win 4 games. It's an organizational problem when you win 4 games. That's how it goes. Just like we can't blame Andy for all the stuff that happened in his time here. It's on everybody. It's on players. It's on coaches. It's on the head coach. It's on the GM. It's on scouts. And it sure as hell is on the guy who pays everybody fucking bills. Yep. When he wanted to be on him. You drafted a quarterback and a wide receiver who can't play. Good talk. That's why nerds don't make picks. I'm 265 pounds. I can sit my ass freaking here, watch college football 1 day a week, not go back to the fucking drawing board and pick you better players than you guys have picked over the last 3 years.
What did the weight have to do with that? But continue.
The what?
I'm 265 pounds. I can sit here. I don't know what. You could have cut that part out.
Doing nothing. I'm doing nothing. I'm overweight, and I can do everything better. I don't know.
Once in a while, you got to give out your bio. You got to give out your essentials.
6'2", 265 for Tom.
The guy will make more tackles than Alex Singleton.
40.
Wingspan, vertical, half an inch.
5'2", 40.
I'll take a half an inch vertical right now.
Oh, God, here he goes. Back in the day.
I think I'm a centimeter. I've never had to jump. Listen, I loved Fisher Price nets because I never had to jump. This guy never had a vertical. It was vertical. Don't let the Sicilian skin fool you. All right, guy had 0 vertical. There was no ups in this with this guy.
He had an 8-foot hoop in the backyard. He was totally confused when he got to the 10-footer. What is this?
I'm so proud of Wells. when I finally started doing squats in my senior year, I was able to finally jump up and get ripped. And it was the greatest day of my life. Now, I went off. This wasn't a 2-footer.
What's that feel like? What's that feel like? I've never done it.
Did it for that year.
Well, you're a midget, Greg, so that makes sense. No offense.
Midget
I'll
game.
take it because it's true.
That was like one of the greatest moments.
You're taller than Mataraki.
I was able to dunk a tennis ball once.
I can get rim, but I never could be like if I could have palmed the ball, I probably could have been able to grab it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was able to get a tennis ball once, and it wasn't like
You got golf hands?
This guy should be in a dunk contest. It was like, did that even go in? Like that was like it was like right over the rim. I got it. Anybody get that on film? No, I'm sorry. It was 1995. Nobody had any. There was no camera phone.
Yeah. Somebody get that Polaroid.
I was the same with you because I couldn't fully palm the basketball. I could a little.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Tommy.
So I had to use like a tennis ball or something small to like dunk it.
And to throw the one-hander down, you need the palmage. Otherwise, it's just too hard. And I definitely we didn't get enough air to throw it down two-handed. That's for sure.
No.
No, that's what we call 2 foot, off 2 feet. Not happening.
Oh yeah, 2 feet is to touch the bottom of the backboard in the layup line. 2 feet, bottom of the backboard. Let's go.
Corey, small hands, bigger than Jared Goff.
We came out to welcome to the jungle. I mean, we jazzed up to get the bottom of the backboard.
Jazz hands talk.
Awesome. Bottom of the backboard.
A lot of slapping the backboard on layups. We're big fans of that. Backboard slap.
All right, boys. Let's go back to the Super Bowl. Looks like we got Nate in the background, so we'll go over some Super Bowl prop bets. Have some fun with that. Bring Nate in here. Let me fix the screen. What up,
Nate?
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm sitting here cracking up because not one of y'all could touch the backboard. I'm just looking at y'all.
I'm 6'6". I can touch it without jumping. Can't get much higher than that.
Yeah.
Now, that's a great statement.
Sean Bradley hops.
I got no shot to get the backboard now. You're right.
Hey,
I definitely could get it. No shot.
2 feet and laying it and dunking it in.
Oh, well, I was an athlete. Yes, for sure.
Athletes, all right. You come on here.
No.
Blocking 101. Calm down. All right, now we're blocking 101.
Yeah. No, definitely no. It's funny you guys are telling stories because I went out there with my son probably like a couple months ago, and it was bad. Like he had the soft ball, and I tried to dunk it. It was bad. I started laughing myself. I was like, yo, I really can't jump anymore. Like, what the hell's going on? It was crazy. And then he started clowning me. My son's 7 years old. It's like, Daddy, what happened to you? All right, we got to go. Let's get off the court. Time to go.
Your truth now. You know what I mean? He'll know your truth now. What I know Chris. I know Chris was the greatest kicker of all time, supposedly. But what side of the ball did you play again?
I was a defensive end.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What's your measurables? We were talking measurables earlier. What are your measurables?
When I'm athlete, now it's embarrassing. But when I played, I was 6'4" and 285.
Yeah, that's fun to block.
Yeah. Well, when you go against at the level we were playing, man. You saw some boys that were like 6'6", 6'7", 330, 340 easy. So I wasn't the big boy out there for sure.
Now you know why Chris kicked. So the more you know, the more you know.
Yeah, facts.
Wait, Nate knows Chris?
Yeah, they played together in LaSalle.
We played together.
Oh, now that was really the more you know.
Yeah. This has been coming on for a long time, man. Me, Tom, and Chris, we've been talking about doing something for a while. This is not just a flash in the plan. It just kind of happened.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've been talking to Chris for a while in the background. So me and Chris, it was a whole year we traded bets for the whole year. Like back and forth. He's funny like that too. He don't do that with everybody. You know what I mean? When bets goes on, he becomes a goddamn hermit. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? So but we were definitely trading bets. What's the Flyers doing, man? I saw they tied it up.
Yeah, it's still tied.
Yeah,
3-3.
3-3. They're getting thoroughly outplayed, but
You know why though? You know why we finally made this happen? Because me and you talked.
Right. Yeah. Facts. that is big facts. We had to take out the middleman real quick.
You gotta do that sometimes.
Yeah.
We talked
Absolutely.
earlier on before you came on. This was our poll, and then obviously we want to get some of your props and get some people some walking around money. I told everybody before, Nate Moss Money Pop Podcast, go check him out. Been doing this shit as long as A2D's been doing this shit. So this ain't a guy who just decided to get into the podcast game. Been doing it for a hot minute. So marathon talk, not a sprint. Listen, let the people know. What do you got? You can go to the poll first and then go around to it. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So we'll run it. So obviously the big game is today, Super Sunday, y'all. Tom Brady, the GOAT as we know him, versus Patrick Mahomes and KC. A lot of things going on right now. Obviously, a lot of you guys already know about the Brett Reed, the situation over there with KC. We talked about it on my show. Is that a distraction? Is it not? Some people say yes. Some people say no. Remember when he was in Philly, I think his son died here, and he just went trunking along. So you got to understand the mindset of the head coach there to think like that. So everything's on the table here. The line is right where it should be at -3. A lot of big bets came in early when it was 3.5 for Tampa. I think Mattress Mac put a $3.5 million bet. They didn't release the name of the other two, but there's $1 million bets on that line. So the line at 3.5 was the right line to be on the side if you like Tampa. My thing about this game is that we actually on our show actually was in a good position because we're going to win either side. And when I say that is we had future bets already on Tampa and KC winning the Super Bowl. So we already cornered the market. So for us, it's a prop parlay. Not a prop parlay, but it's a prop party for us because we're just laying props. We're not betting the side or the total because we already have both sides. I went a little bit heavier on the Tampa side in the beginning, just the way they were playing, way they were coming around, and then my other guys, they have a little bit of heavier on KC. So we have a hedge factor. So we're all guaranteed about $1,000 for us on this game. I had a future bet at 7.5 on Tampa, and then I had a future bet on KC. They were at 3.5. So and when I get these numbers, when I'm saying that, if y'all don't understand the lingo, I'm saying when I say 7.5, it was plus 750. Yep. So meaning on the future bet is that I laid 100. If I would lay $100, which is a unit, to win 750. But obviously I laid more than that. And then vice versa for KC. I got KC at 2.5 plus 2.5, meaning plus 250. And if you lay $100 down, you get plus 250. So going to the poll question, will Brady get his 7th ring here? It's tough to say here. There's one thing that I've learned is that you don't bet against Tom Brady. You just don't. I bet against Tom Brady, and I'm not going to lie to you. I bet against Tom Brady 5 times in my life because I bet against them against that Green Bay game. I didn't think they were going to win that. So I won't lie to you. I'm 1-4. And the one game we won, obviously, is the motherfucking Eagles Super Bowl. I put it all on the line. I was going down in the ship. If we lost that game, I risked the mortgage. I risked the kids' tuition. I risked it all in that game. I didn't give a shit. My wife was with me too. The wife was riding with me, so I felt confident. So Broad Street was extra special for me because I wouldn't get my ass kicked when I was going home because we lost it all.
When you're in the same boat with the boss, you got permission. Absolutely.
Yeah, we got permission. So I laid it all on that game.
Slips were signed.
Yeah, and it was scary too because people forget Tom had 500 yards in that game and like 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like that game was tough.
They didn't
It's when you look at this game, it's really like betting against Michael Jordan. He is the Michael Jordan of football. There's no way around that. There's no way get around. You could say he cheated. You could say this and that. It does. I don't care. He's the GOAT. He is the GOAT of football. We got many GOATs, but he is the GOAT, Billy GOAT. So for me, if I was betting, I would have bet on that 3.5 for Tampa. I just don't bet against Tom. Not in the biggest game of the year. Not doing it. So that's my poll question. Now let's get to some prop bets. So I have 3 tiers of prop bets. How I want to go. My first tier of prop bets are ones that to me are just really no brainers. These should really hit and play. So get your pencil, get your pad and paper ready. We're going to take some notes this time. You know what I mean? So let's get that. And then the second tier is kind of like, these are kind of like more like, 60, 40%. 50-50 is a great bet. Like heads and tails, it's a great bet, right? The house is never going to give you that type of EV or advantage. So the second tier is kind of like a little bit more added, a little bit more added play where they're like plus 160, plus 170. And then I got some long shots at the end to give you guys. I know we got a lot of parlay partiers out there who like to put $20 and win 10 grand. So I get that. It's all good and fun when you do that. So let's start out with some no-brainers. These are my no-brainer picks. My first no-brainer pick is going to be over 4.5 receptions for Mike Evans. I think that's an easy play. That's at minus 112, meaning that you have to spend $112 to win 100. All bets in Vegas, all bets are usually by a unit, which is once again $100. So I love that Mike Evans over 4.5. Over 4.5. I think he has a really good game. Next one.
Yes.
That means
Fly guys.
Yeah. Next one I got is Tyreek Hill to score. And that's minus 170. And that's been ticking up. He had a monster game last game, obviously. So I think he gets in the zone. Even when they get down there in the red zone, they usually have small little gimmick plays for him to get in. So I think that's an easy play right there for that. My next no-brainer one is a nice little prop bet that I found right here on FanDuel, and that is both teams to make a 33-yard field goal, and that's minus 115.
You're just doing that for Chris, aren't you?
I ain't giving that one yet. We haven't talked yet. But if you look at the last game there was a couple field goals there. They both have strong field goal kickers. I like that play right there. I really do. I think that's a little bit of an underrated play, a little gem out there that you can find. And then the last fourth one that I think is also a no-brainer, and I think a lot of people are probably on this one. Tampa Bay has the best rushing defense in the league, if I'm not mistaken. If not, they're second. Casey's not going to run the ball this game. They're just not. It's going to be Mahomes throwing all day. So a lot of prop bets are around Mahomes, whether his attempts, his completions. But I really like over his yards. Over his yards is 329 yards. I like that prop bet as well. So those are my 4 top prop bets that I really like. That we're really going to be more heavy on. So you want to think about these prop bets and how you bet as like an investments. You want to think of it kind of sounding like the stock market. You want to be a little bit more wide. You can throw it all on one, and if you lose on that one, you lose all your money. But if you throw it, have a wide array of stocks, then your risk is not as high as just the one. So when you start thinking about that, and when I talk about sports betting, I talk about it in investment terms so people can understand it. All right.
Exactly.
Next year. Y'all all with me? Everybody's good? I'm not talking too fast, am I?
You're good.
You good?
It's down everything. We're ready to go.
All right, cool. I'm going to keep flowing then. Let me know if y'all need me to stop. All right, so this is my second tier of prop bets that I really like. He's got a little bit more extra, money to him, where we're on the plus EV side of the game, meaning that now we're going to see like plus money, like plus 125, a little bit more long shots on some of these. So the first one I got here is Fournette to score anytime. I got that at plus 125. I really like that play as well. I think he shows up in this game a little bit here. So I think that I think they're going to try to run the ball just a little bit more. There's always a surprise person in these Super Bowls. Your stars kind of play, but there's always another guy who shows up and who's there. He's going to have the opportunity to show up.
Yeah, I agree. I like the 48 on him as well. Sorry.
Yeah. So I think that it's going to be him, and the way they've been playing, it's been kind of with him. He hasn't done his he had a couple. He obviously against Green Bay he had a big run, but he's always been a running back that's got better as the season is going on. So I think he does have a little bit of fresh legs. They haven't burned him out. So I like him to score at any time. Next one, staying with Fournette, and you can do a parlay on this one. We've seen him. I mean, he's got hands like frying pans, but he still gets the catches out the backfield. I think it was over 3.5 catches for him, and I think that's about even money. I think that's plus 100. I got to double check that one again. So the difference now with the two, if you bet on FanDuel or DraftKings, FanDuel has a lot of more plays that are more broad. FanDuel has a lot of more plays that are broad, but DraftKings has a little bit more individual ones where you can do receptions, you can do yards and stuff like that. From what I've seen through both apps, so it's counting where you want to do, how you want to spread your money. But that second one I got for the receptions, over for Fournette, that is actually on DraftKings. That's not on FanDuel. I couldn't find it on FanDuel, which kind of pissed me off.
They're over for Fournette with receptions too, and the score anytime. Right?
Yeah, and the score anytime. I like both of those. Next one, and y'all might like this one, man. This one I'm digging deep on this one. The first team to get a sack. We're going with Tampa Bay there. The who was it? Eric Fisher went down.
Yep.
The left tackle. So that's going to give them a makeshift a little bit in that offensive line. That's at minus 125. I actually got that on FanDuel. So I like Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be the first team to get a sack. It's a gamble, right? A little bit of a gamble there because you never know. But I like that play because I think
50 line again, Nate, where you have a 50-50 shot of that hitting for you. You know what I mean? Just like heads, tails. You have that 50-50 shot.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think that the way this defense is playing, the defensive line is starting to kind of come on strong. And now they're going against an offensive line that's going to be makeshift. It's going to be the first time they're playing, and they're playing together in the biggest game of the year. Like, I think that kind of gives me a little bit of key to kind of key in on Tampa. And then, like you just said this already, the biggest bet so far, the biggest prop bet so far right now is always heads and tails. Right now, number one is tails. So I'm following that trend. I'm jumping on the tails, never fails bandwagon, and that's at minus 103. Funny enough, the fourth biggest bet right now with the most money or the most exposure to the house is heads, which is sure enough. It's the cleanest bet you're going to find on the Super Bowl. It is a true 50-50 bet. Right now, 54 Super Bowls, 24 of them have been heads, just to give you some time. What's the coin toss? Tails? Yeah, I'm going with tails, man. I'm riding tails. You know what I mean? And some of these plays, these kind of middle tier plays, counting with your bankroll. We cannot stress enough on my show, Money Pop Podcast. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, and I'm always here on A2D Radio. Make sure that you guys understand what bankroll management is. That is key and important when we're talking about investing and betting. You cannot bet with house money because you will have problems. Understand that, please. Always bet at your own risk, too. Next one.
1-800.
1-800 gambler. Right. Yeah, you got to, man. You got to, because I want everybody to understand this. And I want you to understand the difference between what I talk about and what I do and what a lot of people out do, because there's a lot of voices. Everybody's hot. Right. You go on there and you look on the internet, you look on YouTube, you look on Instagram, you look on Twitter. They all talk about how they got 75%, 85%. I'm gonna keep it a beam. A professional gambler only hits like 50%, 56% on average consistently throughout the year. Right. That's that's where those professional gamblers and those syndicate groups, that's typically around the era. If somebody's coming out and telling you that they're hitting like 75, 80% of the time, it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand and watch them. Make sure you watch them. I'm not telling you to come to my show. I give out bets for free. It's not me and you versus each other, right? Just like how me and Tom work together. It's not me and Tom versus each other. It's us versus the goddamn establishment. You know what I mean? That's where we're at. That's what I do on my side of the house on my show. We want you to win. right? We all want to win together. It's a group economics thing. You know what I mean? So I'm getting on my tangent, man. I'm passionate about this shit. My fault.
You don't got to talk to anybody on this show about tangents.
Yeah.
I can't even talk.
So, all right. So let's go with some long shots here. We got some long shots. I know people like to not be so risk tolerance. You want to put just a little bit of money, count how much you kind of play with. So we got some long shots. Here's a long shot for you that coincides with the bet with the Tampa Bay first sack. We're going with JPP to be the first player to record a sack. That's plus 650.
Woo!
That has some legs. That's
almost more than his fingers he's got.
that has some legs. He's going against a backup on the left-hand side. He plays left defensive end. No. Where does Fisher play? Is Fisher a right or left?
Left tackle.
He was a left tackle.
He was a left tackle. I'm sorry. So I'm not sure because that other side is Shaquille Barrett on the right-hand side. So I'm not sure what they're going to do there, but I like JPP to be the first person to record a sack at plus 650. All right, let's go with another long shot. Where's my other? Okay, other long shot, which has some legs too. Travis Kelce to be the first person to score a touchdown, plus 700. Wow, it's not. It's doable.
Yeah, I mean, a guy scores a lot of touchdowns.
It's doable.
A lot of value there. A lot of value for guys.
A lot of value there. So, and here to bring us home, we have these are the home runs. These are the 2 home run hitters, and I went on both sides. You can just put $10 or $5 on these plays. These are not supposed to hit, but if they do hit, you better make sure you come back to A2D Radio and tell Tom that we need Money Pot on his show every goddamn day, because this is plus 22,000. I just want you to hear it. Plus 22,000, $100 will win you 22 grand if this hits.
Was that first score safety?
No. We're betting on the outright score. So I get KC 33, Tampa 30. Wow. That's plus 2,200.
That hits. Oh my! Oh, I mean, I'm getting massages like Kraft.
Right. And then the second one on that is plus 17 grand. Remember, $100 will win you 17,000. So that means if my numbers are right, $1 will win you $1,700. Tampa Bay 30, KC 27.
Tampa Bay 30, KC 27. And what was that one again? What was that?
That was 17,000, and that was Tampa Bay 30, KC 27.
Good times either way.
Right. And if you look at those numbers, those look like regular football scores. Right? Those don't look like it's out of the norm for that to happen. You know what I mean? So there's the plays, man. Money Pot Podcast. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend, like I always say, man. Good luck. Happy hunting. You guys can find me on Twitter, on Instagram. I'll be, prop betting away. We'll be watching the game. If anything live comes up, if there's any live games coming up or any stuff like that, I'll throw it out there. I'm not really into betting on the national anthem, betting on, the Gatorade stuff. I like to give you guys a little bit more exposure to the game. Make sure the game is kind of fun. You're in the game. And betting's just taking over the world, man. You see it on ESPN. We talk about it on my show. Obviously, Tom, you kind of talking on your show. When they even introduce guys, when you watch UFC, they talk about the favorite and the dog. It's everywhere. Trust me. You want to get familiar. If you want to come from just betting kind of casually to kind of making it a supplemental income, make sure you follow us up, man. Money Pot Podcast, man.
Let's go, baby.
They pulled the anthem, by the way. That
I was going to give out as my lock 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I think that's where
they
pulled where I would think.
Well, that dude took the.
I just kidding.
Yeah, but no, they pulled it. So now the anthem bet now is that the anthem will last, or there will be a drive longer than the anthem lasts, or a drive shorter than the anthem lasts, a scoring drive shorter than the anthem lasts, or something like that. So because you can't do the actual anthem anymore because that dude fucking took the the preview of it yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever that was.
2 minutes, 13 seconds.
Yeah, 2:14, I think it was.
That was an easy over.
He's trying to give people free money, man. I like it.
I loved it. I was like, look at this guy. This guy's out here for the people.
Yeah, for the people. That's what we're here for, man. We
Doing God's work.
The real Robin Hood. That guy's the real Robin Hood.
Yes, he is. Yep. Mhm.
Hey, I take offense to that because I call myself Robin Hood sometimes. I'm trying to get back to the people, man. I'm trying, man. We're out here. When you come to our platform, man, you don't got to pay for nothing. There's no picks. We're giving out free money. We just want to educate folks on how to bet because everybody's doing it. And it's so easy when you have this. When you have this in your hand, it's so easy. So,
Except down in Florida.
right.
Get you a bookie, Greg.
I get in trouble with bookies.
Yeah, so does everyone.
Yeah, everybody.
That's why they have bookies.
No bet. I see no bets on Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell. Nah, brother. I'm leaving those guys alone, man. Those bets are not like something that's going to be in your favor. We're trying to bet things that are going to be in your favor a little bit. I'm not feeling those two. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what their game plan is. If anything, I'm going under on both those guys.
I wouldn't mind Antonio Brown for an anytime TD. I think he's scored in 4 of the last 5 games he's played.
Yeah, you know what? Who I like better than AB though? I like Brake. I like Cameron Brake a little bit to have a little bit because if you look, he was picking up a lot of Gronk takes a lot of people away. They have to look Gronk's way just to make sure. Even though he's not obviously the same Gronk he was, but it's still somewhat he can still have an effect on the game. And I think Cameron Brate, man, as that second tight end when they go 12 personnel and they have some of their packages, he sneaks in. He always has about 4 catches.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's good for 4 or 5 catches a game.
Yeah, 4 or 5 catches, about 50, to 70 yards. So he's another sneaky player that if you guys didn't like any of those plays, look at some of Cameron Brake's prop bets, whether it's I would like his over in yardage. I think his over in yardage is low. I think his over in yardage
very low.
It's 25, 30. That's a good bet to get into to get over the Cameron Brake and receiving yards. But nothing on Le'Veon or AB.
Le'Veon might not even play.
Yeah, he
whoever
might not play.
brought
He's
him up.
happy to be there. So
Yeah.
he's just happy to be there. He's
got the same fucking view that we all have of the game. Le'Veon.
Yeah. He's happy to be there. And then AB was coming on strong. I just don't know enough about that injury that he had.
Yeah. True.
I just don't know where he's at on that injury. But I do like the under. It's low, but I like the under with Scotty Miller under 2 catches.
And Brate is 3.5, 29.5. Just
29.5. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, see that 29.5
Under Scotty Miller.
I like that over in that 29.5.
What about Godwin? Nobody said it. Nobody's mentioned.
Yeah, I got Godwin 5.5 and 77.5. I think Godwin has a good game.
Yeah, he had a good game the first game around. But I think they're going to force feed Evans. I think if anything, I wouldn't touch his yards. I would touch those like you said, the receptions 5.5.
Yep.
That makes sense. But he's more receptions than Evans, and I just can't I feel like it's going to be a Mike Evans game. Your stars got to step up. So
Godwin's going for a payday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the guy wins Super Bowl MVP. I would that dude has 12 catches, a buck, 2 TDs, and gets his ass paid real quick after this season. He deserves it, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's like totally how Super Bowls work. Where like Nate was saying early on, like some of them, I don't want to say role players, but like your second option, your third option, or whatever. Somebody comes up big and has a monster game.
That's why. I'm leaning towards Hardman. Maybe not Hardman having a monster game, but he's 2.5 and 28.5. I think he's good for a bomb down, the sideline, and maybe 3 catches.
They've been trying to get the ball in his hands, Sweep. So I like the over on catches on Hardman.
Yeah, me too.
The problem you probably run in with KC is they do so many like motions and stuff behind the line that he might get the ball 5 times, but 3 of them might be runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have a twist it's not going to be what I tried to go back and look at that Tampa and KC game and get a feel a little bit more of that game flow. And I remember, obviously it was different because Hill just went.
Hill had 200 yards in the first half. Yeah.
Yeah, he just went completely off. The whole type of game flow completely changed once he did that. So what is this going to happen? Obviously they're not going to do the same thing. They're going to put some type of coverage on him. But, who does that open up, afterwards? And they already came out like you see how smart they are to give bettors to the side that they want. Why all of a sudden now that you're talking about Patrick Mahomes needs surgery on his turf toe? Like, why now? You know what I mean? That just dropped, I think, maybe either earlier this morning or late last night.
Turf toe gate.
Yeah, so like.
I already fell into that bullshit once.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass after that one.
Well,
I was like a Buffalo ballerina. You know what I mean? I was like, they call me Buffalo ballerina. I mean, I was so on my knees for
I believe that was the Cleveland ballerina.
No, it was
It wasn't
Buffalo.
even Buffalo.
No, it was Buffalo.
Well, it wasn't Cleveland. I didn't have Cleveland winning that game.
Are you sure?
I think
you
Cleveland
might have.
play him
I
tough.
had Cleveland winning the game.
I said they can play him tough. If there's a team that can run the football down their throat, I said it would be Cleveland. Check the tape, Wills. I didn't.
No, you guys
I just know that you bet Cleveland. That's all. I mean, I remember.
Well, they're 3-point dogs. I bet on the cover.
You guys had the Bills Chiefs bet. You two guys.
Yes, I had the Bills. Yes,
Yeah.
and I stand by. But I had the Browns not winning. I had the Browns covering. That was the difference in the Browns game. I didn't have them winning. No,
I had the Browns winning.
they weren't there yet. Greg's the only idiot.
Yeah, no, they weren't there yet. That was a true long shot for them to win. They were 9-point dogs. That's yeah. I like the bet though. I like the +9 though. I think a lot of people on that +9 for sure.
I'll start throwing daggers at me, Wells.
I just knew that you bet them. That's all.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm down.
I bet a lot of things.
You got lucky because Mahomes left the game. Otherwise, you wouldn't even hit the bet.
You don't know that.
I do. I watched the game.
I watched the game too.
It was
Yeah,
19-3, and they were moving at will.
22 minutes. Yeah, they didn't score for 22 minutes.
I wonder if that was that a teaser buster game? Because I remember that weekend we were talking about that, and the way Vegas has set the lines, it looked like it was perfect for people to get their teasers just destroyed.
And my Bills pick was more of motion. Like it was more like rooting them on because I felt like they finally deserved it as a fan base. You know what I mean? It was more of like homerism pick, which I fall into plenty of times.
I'm looking at the comments here. A couple of questions, man. I see any pick six. No, I don't think there's going to be any pick sixes, man.
No, I don't think so.
In this game, there's a couple of prop bets for some INTs. The only person I would ever bet that is Honey
Peters. Oh, Badger. Okay,
yeah, Badger. That's the only person I would ever take because he's the only ball hawk on that team.
Well, Peters is out there still too, right?
Yeah, he's on Baltimore.
Oh, that's right. He's on Baltimore.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? Who's their starting corners right now? I don't even know who Kansas City starting corners are.
It's Breland, and I forget who the other guy is.
Yeah, I forget the other guy.
Breland. Yeah, so I mean, I do think that almost all the receivers on Tampa, and definitely Cameron Brate, because I just think Tampa's going to throw the ball a ton in this game because they're just going to have to. I like Brady and over yards as well.
Yeah, I think he was plus 300. There was an alternate one on him.
Yeah,
There's an alternate one on
296.
42.
296 I saw.
I love first touchdown, and it's a long shot probably. I don't know what the odds are, but I really do like it just because it's his guy, and it would make a lot of sense. It's Gronk first touchdown.
I think he's plus 1,200.
1,200, yeah, 1,200, I believe.
I feel like it's a good bet. It's good. Like, I mean, I'm not going to guarantee shit, but it just feels like a good bet. Like, that could be a little sleeper in here that does get the first touchdown.
That's all he gets on the game.
Yeah,
That's the way he's getting going, you know.
And think about it. That's how most people think. Like it's Gronk, it's Brady, it's all that, and that's why I'm leaning to. See, I lean where the public goes. I go against. I typically go the other way. You know what I mean? So I really like. I think Cameron Brate can have a surprise game today. I really do.
L'Jarius Sneed is their other corner, just for anybody.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Anybody at home.
Who is that? Who is that guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, he played a damn Super Bowl.
So I missed some of the talk earlier, man. What do you boys think about this Chicago bullshit that we're hearing with Wentz? This Chicago trade.
Just going to get into that. I think it's a flat out disgrace of a trade. You don't get any value back. That makes me excited about it. The fact that you're putting a second round fucking pick in it is a goddamn joke for Tyreek Cohen, who I like Tyreek, okay? But Tyreek Cohen, it's not even about that. Okay.
Do we even know that this is factual though?
Well, we know, listen, what I do know is factual. And
they're talking on
they're going to trade him as facts.
I'll stand on a hill with this one. All right. I believe that the Bears deal is to drive the price up for the Indianapolis Colts. And I'll stand by this one. All right. I believe this is all smoke to drive it up to get the Colts to come in with more. Because there's no way in fucking hell, there's no way that this organization is inept enough to give Jalen Hurts, not even just to give Jalen Hurts the keys. That's another story. But to bring Nick Foles back and put him behind Jalen Hurts would be the biggest disgrace. And you're doing the same thing you just did to Carson Wentz, but to another young quarterback would be the biggest disgrace. First off, giving Jalen Hurts the keys, to me, I'm not in love with, okay? First off. Second off, then you're going to bring Foles back. I don't even care about anything else in the deal, okay? You can't bring him back here. I love the guy. You can't. There's things you can't do in sports, and one thing is have a feel and a fucking pulse for your city because you're the owner of the damn city. And if you even think that's smart to do, you should fire yourself immediately. Give ownership to somebody else because you don't deserve it if you think that's a smart move to do to a young quarterback again. That's my issue with that deal. Okay, I know he's going. I've accepted it. I said 1,000,000 times. I'm over it. Let him just go. I don't want to hear it anymore. All right. I want to see people be wrong. I want to see this fan base, the 50% of them that are idiots, fall on their goddamn face. But what I can't take, because I'll watch every game still. But what I can't do to myself, and what this fan base doesn't deserve, the smart ones, is to deal with another quarterback controversy over bullshit, over something we dealt with 3 years ago. It would be a disgrace. It would show how inept they are. Yes. It would show that everybody needs to be fired.
Flyers.
It would show, listen, it will it's lifting up the curtains, all right? Lifting up the curtains and showing everything that's wrong inside this house. If that happens. What I will say, after all that little rant, I appreciate you guys letting me get that.
I don't understand the Tyreek Cohen, Tom. Help me out here. I got really drunk yesterday. I wasn't paying attention to a lot of shit. Why are we even talking Tyreek Cohen? He's coming off a major knee injury. Who the fuck wants Tyreek Cohen?
No, you're right. It makes no sense. But go ahead, Tommy. Finish. I know.
None of them two players do anything for me. All right, and the 20th pick in the draft does absolutely nothing for me when I'm giving up a second-round pick. You fucking idiots! Tyreek Cohen is not worth a second-round pick. Even with the greatest knees in the history of sports, he ain't worth a second-round pick. Are we okay? So what I'm saying is, I hope we're okay, and I really believe the Colts are going to jump in on this, and they're going to have to offer more. I gotta believe that that's what's going to happen here, because this I don't watch. I'll watch, but I don't watch. At least I'm going to sign a petition saying I get a year off.
You know, there's a lot of talk last night, Tom, that apparently you made a tattoo bet about Carson won't be traded or you'll get a Carson Wentz tattoo. There's a lot of that talk going on.
Yeah, that's cute. I don't have to
just let you know. I already said that you're going to welch your way right out of that.
No, because if I went and got a lawyer, I'm considered an entertainer. I mean, hear me out. If I went and got a lawyer, and
I'm just letting you know that's coming. That's a coming.
That's cool.
That talk's a coming.
No, I know the talk's already there. And I know what I said. But what I'll tell you this is, if this went to judge and jury, babe, all right, and I get a good enough lawyer, he talks about how I'm an entertainer. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Ask Tucker, all right? Ask Tucker. You know, do a little homework. Say whatever the hell you want. An entertainer.
I'm glad you got all that out because I guess I got really nothing to fall back on to say because the trade, I just don't get it. I get the upgrade. If you like the player, the skill set of Tyreek Cohen, he's better than Boston Scott, you know, when he's on the field. There's the same player, but he's just a better version of it. Yep. They're all washed down Sproles clones, right? They're all poor man Sproles. I just don't get just the first round pick in Nick Foles. Like I don't understand it at all. And I'm hoping you're right, Tom. I don't think you are, that they're trying to ride the price up. Like I think that's really, really what's on the table. Like I really do. Like, and it's trash.
I'm not like a source junkie, guys. Like I don't
trash.
I don't do that. Like I try not to do that because then you try to act like a hero. But like in this circumstance, I've heard this from a reliable person that knows somebody inside the game that says the Colts are really in on this. and hopefully, not that it's factual, because no source is ever factual, right? But hopefully it's to drive up the Colts price. But the fact that he's gone, and not because he wants to be gone, it's because his agents are done with it. They're done with it.
As they should be at this point.
They're done with it. So supposedly this is coming not even from him, which is even more of a mess. But listen, the whole situation's worn out, Nate and boy. Yeah, the whole situation is worn out. And if I'm him, I want out. I'm not even playing quarterback. I'm done. I'm good. I am good. I'm good. I'm tired of my name getting ran through the dirt and the mud and my character and all these other things getting ran through because this ownership wants to leak bullshit that they're leaking on their own. You understand this? They're leaking all this stuff on their own. This is coming from Jeffrey Lurie is an elite gate party. That's why, guess what? That tattoo is not happening. Because no way in history do you take a $30 million cap hit to move on from a 27, 28-year-old quarterback who's had one bad year. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, boys.
Fucking show, dude.
It doesn't happen. Unless you're getting 2 firsts back, a player, and then if you're talking to the Bears, you should be talking about Roquan Smith. You should be talking about Tyreek Cohen and Nick Foles.
We're Fuller on the outside.
That Bears report was just
he'll never give up Smith.
Ridiculous.
Right.
The Colts are the Colts have everything points to the Colts. You know what I mean? So that's why you can fleece them. You know what I mean? Frank Reich, Rivers retired. I mean, come on, that's all roads point there.
Didn't get Stafford.
Huh?
The Colts didn't get Stafford.
Yeah. The only thing that comes into that sweeps is the luck bullshit that's coming out any bit true, right? And if that's any bit true, it sort of takes him off the board a little bit. I don't know how true it is. I believe it in a way because players take a year off and the body feels good, and they're like, all right, I'm good, I'm back, right? I'm back. So it happens, but I find that a little hard to believe right this second.
Well, it's 2 years off now, right?
Yeah, 2. Yeah, is it 2?
Yeah, it's 2.
No, that's even worse. But then your body feels even better. So, I mean, there's always some truth to it.
I haven't heard anything from Luck about it, though. You know,
no.
I mean, there's been
Carson
chirps, but
it's a Carson thing. You haven't heard anything from Carson, but everybody's going to tell you what he's saying, right? It's the same.
What does he need to say? What I've heard that. Like, why isn't Carson Wentz talking? For what? What does he need to say? He doesn't have shit to say. If he wants out, I don't need to answer to anybody in the media. For what? That's what my agents are for. That's what those guys are for. They are the front piece. Do what I tell you to do. Do what I pay you to do. Get me the fuck out of Philly, and then we'll all just keep moving on. I feel all you guys when we talk about we're tired of hearing, but it's just like they won't let you go. Like sports isn't sports unless there's some type of controversy in Eagles football with quarterbacks. It's only exciting when we're talking about something in the Eagles organization with quarterbacks. It's been a long. I mean, even though McNabb was here for forever, there was always something about him being the quarterback here. So I don't think he needs to say anything at all. Just do the deal. Just get it done. Just don't bring that bullshit. Because that trade that's being circulated around is hot garbage.
Yeah, it makes zero football sense.
Garbage.
I mean, I agree. I agree with you. I think there's just, I do think that it could have heard something from him, though. You know what I mean? Like, I agree. You pay those people, like, he doesn't have to say anything, right? But, when you open your mouth, you do get in trouble. So I understand that point, too. You know what I mean? But you still would want to hear something from your franchise guy. I understand, we understand the rumors and all this stuff, and he got yanked out and stuff. But you would like to hear something, at least, something like, hey, I felt bad, you know what I mean? Like I was, I played like shit, but I still feel like I'm the guy, and
he owed that to us in his final presser of the year, which he didn't do, which to me that's my issue. Like my issue isn't now.
That's the only one.
Yeah, you don't talk every day.
It's your last presser of the year. You're $128 million starting quarterback. I don't care if they're going to assault you verbally on the stand, right? I don't care. That's the final presser of the year. Everybody does it. That's where
the way you played, someone should have stabbed you. Fuck.
That's where he went wrong. That's the only spot he's gone wrong here. Anything else after that, I don't need a tweet. I really don't need a tweet from a guy.
Yeah, I don't need nothing either. I'm good.
He tweet a lot anyway. I don't need a tweet from him. But like, dude, is your final presser? Absolutely. Have some accountability. All right, stand up on the hill.
Just be a man.
and get things thrown at you and handle it, and then go enjoy your all season and go get better. That's it. You can't.
Agreed. The silence speaks volumes. I mean, like I said, like Nate said, you know what I mean? You don't need to hear from him every day. You don't need to hear 10 things from him. You know what I mean? But like, we would like to hear something from him. I mean,
a fly Eagles fly. If I was a PR guy, would have did wonders for him on Twitter. Like simple. Type in Fly Eagles fly hashtag. Call it a day and sit back and enjoy, because nobody can spin that anyway. Besides good. Simple. I mean, just hire me. I'm right here. It's simple. These are Fly Eagles fly. We're all Gucci. Guys are jerking themselves off. Everybody feels great about it. He talked about us, and we're back. But the fact that was never done.
That's what those people do. Those people are for your image. You know what I mean? Like behind the scenes, you can be like, "Hey, get me the fuck out of here." You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But out front, you put something out like, "Hey, man, can't wait for training camp. Can't wait to compete. You know, can't wait. You know, love this place. You know,
Bird Gang."
And then behind the scenes, you're like, "Hey, get me the fuck out of here."
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
That's damage control. That's image 101. You know,
that's exactly what he's doing. He's done. He's completely done. And if that's the case, once I feel that from you as a player, then I'm done with you.
Yeah,
like, I've been on the Wentz wagon forever. I've always been on the Wentz wagon, even when he got benched. I'm not like Hurts had a spark there, but didn't really show much later, especially tailored to later end of the season, man. So, but if he's done with us, then fuck him. I'm done with you too. Peace.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I would protected him per se, air quote. But I was just talking facts, right? Because he's had one bad year. I was just talking facts to people. People don't like facts. But guess what? Like you just said, if he don't want to be here, I don't want him here now, because it's no good for nobody. So do the deal. I'm over talking about it, and we'll enjoy 52% completion percentage from our quarterback next year, and everybody can kiss my ass. And I love Jalen as a man, as a kid. I do. I really do. But at the quarterback position, as a starter in this league, I got major. You thought I had questions about Carson? Holy shit! We don't get the time on this show to talk about how nervous I am to give the keys to Jalen Hurts right now.
You got no confidence in Sudsy?
Best people in the country. Best people in the country.
You didn't see enough in Week 17 against out of Sudsy?
Yeah, supposedly Jeffrey did, because the guy went to bat for him for no reason and a presser. I mean, the guy came out of nowhere from like the top ropes and was like, best people on the team. What the fuck did you just say? Like, if I'm Carson, I want to fight Jeffrey right there. Like, I want to fight Jeffrey. Did you just say Sudfeld has the best people on the team? I can throw the ball 100 yards. What are you talking about? All right? My best plays are the deep ball. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Guess why? You know why? Because this guy has too much control. Too much control of his own team, which sounds crazy, but it's true. And I'm waiting for the people to tell me, listen, continue to blame Howie Roseman. That's fine. He deserves a lot of blame. But he's just a puppet for this loser. He's a loser too, because he has nothing. He don't have nothing between his legs to say, yo, JJ, what are you talking about? You see this guy when he came in for the physical? But no, we take that guy every day. Doubleheader Sunday, we're taking him twice. What are we doing? Right? Same thing with Hurts. You know, you got to stand up and say, whoa. What are we doing? And the reason Doug's not here is Doug wanted a seat at that table after the Super Bowl. Okay? Doug wanted a seat at the table, and Jeffrey Lurie denied the fucking seat at the table because he got the biggest ego in the room. We talk about all the egos? Huh. We're not talking about the biggest. He's the biggest. I'm telling you, this shit's going to continue to circulate and come out more and more, and people are not off the hook. Not off the hook, but you're going to see how bad of a situation he put us in single-handedly.
I don't disagree with you, Tom, but I mean, Doug coached like shit for 2 seasons, though. He did.
We're not talking about X's and O's. We're talking about a guy who just won a Super Bowl and wanted a seat at the table and was denied that seat at the table. That's a problem. No matter how bad he coached after. Listen, this isn't a Doug deserves to be here train. You win 4 games, you go. I don't care about that. It's like Carson. Bye. I'm an Eagles fan. I want what's best. My whole point and direction is up top. I know what you're saying, but I'm blaming.
I know. I agree with you.
The control, like you own something and you want to have too much control, and like you have to have your eyes on everything, right? Obviously, as an owner of a professional team, but you have to like trust in your people.
It's like Bill Parcells said, Tommy, they want you to cook the meal. They might as well let you shop for the groceries.
Like, how do these guys not have say? And that goes for Howie Roseman, too. Like, wait. Your general manager is a puppet to the owner? That's why he's still here? Oh, that's why. Okay. I'm not even directing my hate at him anymore. I've done enough with the Howie hate. I'm going right at top. My jabs and shots are going right at the billionaire.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to sell a team anytime soon. So
Yeah, I was about to say he ain't going nowhere.
We thought Howie was safe.
we're gonna need to manufacture some shit on Jeffrey to get him out.
Well, he did a 15-minute presser before the head coach. I mean, how much is it about him? A 15-minute presser before you announce your head coach. 15?
Why is he even talking? Fucking
Shit, he was better talking to
Shut the
Sirianni
fuck up.
anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Sirianni was terrible. Oh
No, he
my
was, but how does this guy, he shows you his ego. 15 minutes, you're introducing somebody else. Huh. We're not introducing you. We've heard from you.
There's been all kinds of misses. I mean, like, but like I'm not even talking about DK's play on the field, which speaks volumes. Just the fact that they said, oh, because he failed his physical. Like, just looking at that guy, if he had one leg, you would just assume that he would grow it back. If he came in with one leg, I'd be like, I think DK will probably grow it back. That's what kind of unbelievable specimen he is. You know what I mean? I don't care.
In a wheelchair, and they say,
I don't care what.
I don't buy it.
I don't care what the doctor said. I'm good. I think he'll
It's like
be
one
okay.
of those lizards with its tail.
I think he'll be okay. He'll grow back. Yeah.
You guys remember that rant not too long ago when I said that dude walks in, you don't even need to touch his balls. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we don't got to do the physical. We're good.
100%, dude. You
We
just
seen
look
it
at
up.
the two guys.
We see
You
it
just
enough.
look at the two guys. The one dude has his mom holding an umbrella over his head in the sun. The other dude's fucking Terminator.
It's just, this is what happens, and this is why Jerry Jones has failed, right? You fail when you get too involved. Not involved, too involved. You obviously have to be involved. You own the team. I get that. That's not what I'm saying. But when you get to the level of like, all right, you got your hands in everything, and you're making final calls, spaghetti-o. That's all.
Yeah, we can go back years and years about the draft and how they missed. There's a lot. This is not.
It's not new.
That is
Not
a
new.
show in itself, right? About what Howie's done and missed, over the years. So I'm gonna just stay quiet on that because there's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time for Chip to come back for drafting. Just for drafts. The only guy who's on Pro Bowl.
He was the one who messed up the whole thing too, right? Because they actually, Chip was the no and saw Howie and said, well, Howie's not a football guy, so you go on the right wing and let me run the ship, right? Yep. And they gave Chip all the power, and I think that now Laurie's reluctant to do that. You would think he would have gave it to a little bit more leeway with Dougie because he won a Super Bowl, but it's interesting to see that he gave over the keys to Chip and let Chip, really run the show, be the GM and all that, have control over player personnel. But he's not doing it now. So I wonder if there's a sour apple with that, with handing over those keys, because now Howie came back into the fold. They won a Super Bowl, and Howie's going to in the room like, damn, I told you, Jeff, let me run this shit. Yeah. I just got us a Chip.
But last thing, and then we'll do a crumb of the day when we get out of here.
Yeah, they took Howie out of the fucking electrical closet.
You're right, though.
Right back to the GM role.
And Wells, guess what happened too? Is like once he gave up that power and he felt like he was burned, Jeffrey became like, okay, I'm not giving the power to anybody.
Right.
And the thing that he missed was that Chip did some bad things of like players that we loved getting rid of, but he drafted well. So like I'm not crowning him as a head coach. I'm just saying he knew college talent. And he did get us Lane Johnson, Zach Ertz. Like the list goes on some of the names that were associated with Chip Kelly too. That doesn't take away from him being a shithead coach or a bad leader of men and all that shit. Just the fact that he at least knew personnel. Like, I mean, granted, he went from 2-win seasons to a shithole, but he at least could hit some Pro Bowlers. Christ, these guys are Pro Bowlers. Last thing I'll say is from the Colts is I just personally can't do this deal. unless, and I just want your guys' thoughts on this quickly, unless I get 2 first-round picks.
That's it. That's it. That's it. To me, Tom, that's the stamp. I need 2 firsts.
But I need one thing extra, Will. One thing extra. I'm putting a little dessert on it. A little dessert, okay, is not only do I want 2 first-round picks, I want a player.
Yeah, you want a player.
I want a player. You want the quarterback? You believe in it enough to give me 2 first-round picks? I want a defensive starter. You can name them. Something's coming back.
And just to piggyback off that,
their picks are late. Their picks are going to be 28. You would think.
Yeah, we talked about this on Friday too. Here's the question: how you look at this, right? Stafford set the market, right? So to ask you a question, do you think Carson Wentz has a high? Because this is what I said. Carson Wentz has a higher ceiling than Stafford at this point. I don't know at this point. Is he a better quarterback?
He's got a lower floor, I'd say.
Because Stafford's he's 31. I think he's still fairly young.
32.
But
32,
31. But remember he's had major surgeries too. He had a big surgery. He's hurt that throwing arm a couple of times. Now I love Stafford. Right,
Yeah.
I like Stafford. I think Stafford's very underrated as a quarterback.
Hard as nails, always on the field. Yeah.
If that's the bar, if that's the bar, and we've seen the ceiling. We've seen the ceiling of Wentz. Now you have the Watsons, you have Mahomes, you still have Rodgers. Obviously, Brady's probably going to play another year. So I don't think Carson Wentz is ever going to be considered the best player in the best quarterback in the league anymore. Because remember, when he went out against the Rams, he was considered the best quarterback in the consensus MVP at the time. Right? So that tells me that's his ceiling. His ceiling is to be able to be an MVP of the league. I don't think he's going to get any better than what we saw in that 1 year. I think that's where he's at. So if you look at that and you take that body of work and you match it against what Stafford is right now, are you still getting the same deal that the Rams gave up for Stafford? And I think that's how you have to break down this whole thing of what is Carson Wentz actually valued. It sucks he's coming off a bad year, because if he was coming off a good year, this would be a no-brainer to, 2 first-round picks and a player and something like that. But the fact that he came off such a bad year, now we have
no conversation either.
Yeah, it's another conversation. Because it's not like the kid forgot how to play football. Let's be he can still sling the rock, he can still play football. But the question is, what do you think is the value? And I think Tom's right, jumping off that. You have to start with at least 2 first-round picks or at least a first and a second.
You don't got to give me a quarterback, that's a middle of the pack quarterback that can start in this league. Like I don't need the same value, but I need close to that. Like because this guy's shown, he's shown us similar things of Matthew Stafford in a way. When he's healthy, he's a damn good quarterback, right? And he's proven that. Now Stafford 0-3 in the playoffs. Not all Stafford's fault, obviously. It's never all on the one guy, right? But it's like Stafford hasn't been like this winner. I love Matty Stafford, and I think he's going to go win with the Rams real quick. But I'm just making a point that their value is very similar, and especially 4 years younger.
Yeah,
exactly. And then off John Lynch's question right there. That's the question you have to ask yourself: Is Stafford's value higher than Wentz? And I don't think it's not. I think it's only people are only saying it's higher because Wentz had such a bad year last year. And there was so much bad media and bad stuff going around that. You know what I mean? But Wentz was also the most sacked quarterback in the league by a mile last year.
Yeah, I don't think it's way higher.
I don't think it's way higher.
No way.
I don't.
I just think the 1 year, like you said, there's other factors that went into it. You know what I mean? And Stafford never had a bad year like Wentz, like that kind of bad. You know what I mean? Like embarrassing.
Right.
So there was other things that came into it. You know what I'm just saying.
Right. So he had all the turnovers last year. He had a makeshift offensive line. We had the most starting offensive line lineups. He got sacked the most, and then you lost confidence in your head coach all in 1 year. What quarterback has a good year with that?
Nobody.
You know what I mean? Nobody has a good year with that. You know what I mean? So if just to, like I said, piggyback on, we're not talking 2 first-round picks. then hey, you're gonna be in midnight green. You're gonna be mad as shit. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree. I think 2 first-round picks. It has to be 2 first-round picks. I'm not trading the best quarterback on our roster for less than 2 first-round picks.
Especially
he's a franchise quarterback. Let's not forget that. He is everything you want in a quarterback. He's got size, he's got the arm, he's got the right mindset, he's got somewhat, from what we know, there's been questions about his leadership. You know, he's got a little bit of mobility to him. He's not like, you know, just stand still. He's got good pocket awareness. We could question the pocket awareness because he does lead the league in fucking fumbles. So we can question that. But he has all the makeup that you would want in a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So let's not like I think he gets so much bad press. But when you take away the fan, take away the emotion, and look at the X's, O's, look at the intangibles, look what he's done on the field. He's a franchise quarterback. There's no doubt about it. You can't give him up for a fucking first-round pick and Tyreek Cohen. Like, what are we talking? And Nick Foles?
Nate, we can't be talking about.
What time is it? I need to get a drink. What time is it, man? The fuck?
30. If he's going to the cold,
5 o'clock somewhere.
If he's going to the cold,
about to be here soon.
if he's going to an organization that's built and ready to win, right? I'm not expecting high first-round picks. So that becomes an issue. That becomes, okay, then I definitely need 2. Because you're talking about 25 or later, right? You're talking about potentially 25 or later. I don't care how they feel about Carson Wentz. I know that Frank Reich is going to be willing to give it up. So then I go and look at your defense. And I say, I need a starter under the age of 27. I don't give a rat's ass. I'll hold on to this guy forever. Because at the end of the day, his value to me is still high. Because because he can play at a high level in this league. Especially around him. So
yeah, and I agree, but here's the problem: because if they trade him, they have that cap situation, so they're going to be forced to go. They're going to have to be forced to go young. You know what I mean?
Which is totally fine. It's a rebuild, right?
Yeah,
totally fine. Is that Lawton again?
Yeah, Hattie.
I guess somebody got a hat trick.
Yeah, Lawty. Let's go, Lawts. I love like you say for shorten everything up.
You know what? I love this over too, man. I love this over on with 6 goals. I just didn't get it in time today. Jesus Christ, look at the shots on goals. I'm looking at the shots on goal. 35 Washington, 20 for the Flyers.
That's the MO.
Woo!
That's 2 firsts and Hooker is a deal I would like. And Hooker's still under contract. Like you got to be able to give up because at the end of the day, you're not giving me top 10 picks. Right? You're potentially giving me late first round picks, which never then get my quarterback, right? So if you look at it like that, like if Hurts isn't your guy and you need to go to the well again, you know, maybe you can because you'll stink, right? But their value of their picks brings you unknowns anyway. So I need to get some known from you. That's what the Lions said. The Lions said, hey, first-round picks are great. You're going to be drafting late, okay? But I need a known from you, whatever that known's going to be. And that known ended up being Jared Goff. But I need a known. At least they know he can play a little bit. I'm not Mr. Jared Goff, but you guys understand what I'm saying. At least it's like he's adequate to start in this league. And so it's fine. But the same thing goes with the Eagles. Then I need adequate back as a player because I got to then realize that these picks are not high value, even though they're first, potentially. So I need Hooker. I'm not obviously getting Leonard, you know.
Everybody needs a hooker.
You know what I mean? I need a starter. I don't have to go look at their defense, but I'll need a starter under the age of 27 that's under contract.
I like it straight. I like the 2 first round.
Xavier Rhodes. I'm not sure how old he is, but
and our staff loves him. I mean, I'll even take an Xavier Rhodes who can play for a year. Christ, I'll just take anything. Like I would rather get younger, but I mean, I just need some proven talent back to make me know. Okay, you know, I lost my quarterback, but at least I don't know. I don't know. Flyers again. Let's go. Baby.
Let's go Flyers.
That's game. Let's
baby. Go Flyers.
Boom.
Who's that, Coots?
Was that Coots for a second time?
Coots from deep.
That's Coots twice tonight.
That's a little open net piece.
That's empty. I was about to say that's got to be a empty.
It's got to be a 75-footer.
Listen, real quick. Let's get through a Crumbs of the day or the week. Sorry, I'm used to the same day. Crumbs of the week.
I'll go first. I got one. I got one in the barrel. Mine's the NBA, and you know, guys, I harp on that. I don't like the NBA, but what a joke of a disgrace they did Friday night. And I hate the Nets, so I'm okay with it. But a joke, absolute joke with the Kevin Durant in, out, and they're like, well, due to contact tracing, he can't play for a week. He was on the court with both teams, so you're just gonna then both teams can't play. I don't know what the fuck the NBA is doing, but they're fucking it up. I don't know what they did. It was a mess, and Durant should be pissed off at him because it's an absolute disgrace what they did. He's on the court. He's off the court. He's on the bench. He's on the court. Now, pull him from the bench. Now you can't play for a week. What's going on? He's around everybody. So if you contact trace him, then everyone's contact traced. I don't understand what the fuck's happening. And it's just another black eye to the NBA, and he should be pissed off about it.
Didn't he already have COVID?
Joke.
Like, didn't he have it?
He had it 2 months ago.
So
and
he's still in that window where he can do whatever he wants.
Tested negative 6 times in a 36-hour period and 1 positive, which obviously was false. So I don't know what's happening. Crazy.
Listen, it's bullshit. I don't like anything about it. That was going to be my crumb, so I'll go last. Good crumb out of you. I mean, great crumb, well deserved. I like the free win on. I love the.
Oh yeah, we love the free win, and I hate the Nets. It's just an absolute joke that the way the NBA handled it was a joke.
Is Hart still in that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Whoever wants to go next.
Yeah, I guess I'll go last. I'll see if I can think of one real quick.
I'll go. Jay Gruden. I got. You're not a good coach. You were a terrible head coach. I mean, okay, so maybe you're suspect as an offensive coordinator. Nobody really cares. Now you're going to try your hand in the media, and you want to fire shots at Tony Romo like you can do it every time and predict plays, and he's only right 30% of the time. Like, just shut up. Just go away. The world's tired of hearing from the Grudens, for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, why banana and all this stuff. Knock it the fuck off. I mean, save it for Thanksgiving. Nobody else gives a shit about you guys. You understand? And if you want to get into the media family, you're not supposed to throw other guys under the bus anyway, right? The guy, Tony found a niche. He makes $17 million a year. All right, live with it. Right, stop being jealous. Just say no comment. I can't wait to get into the field. Can't wait to get into the booth. Hope I can have a good career. You know what I mean? It's just another thing of sour grapes, and I just hate when other guys want to do that and tell us how good you are. I can do that, and I can do it every time. Yeah, sure you could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
Bro. Look like you did it really well as a coach.
It's not like Tony's saying, "Oh, this is definitely a run here, or definitely a pass." And when Tony does it, he tells you exactly what's going to go on. You know what I mean? And he played in the league, so we expect that out of him. You know what I mean? It's not like he's predicting what the lottery numbers are. You know what I mean? The guy's seen a lot of coverages, he's seen a lot of defenses. So it brings a different thing, to the booth and to the game. You know what I mean? And people enjoy it. Some people hate it, some people like it. But
our commentary isn't easy.
Just stay out of it. Jay Gruden, go away.
Yeah. And like that's the guy you're going to shoot at, Jay. Like Tony. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that Tony's getting paid a ton. People are really liking him in the booth. And you're going to come at that guy. Why don't you pick somebody a little less first? Keep Talib had a rough year in the booth. Why don't you come at him?
I don't like it because one, I think Romo does a good job. A really good job, and
he does a very good job.
Color commentary isn't easy, and he tells you what he sees. And from doing color commentary just for A2D when we first started, knowing how a little bit of the game, it's not an easy thing, and you just want to talk as a player, right? So like when we did basketball, like I didn't play pro basketball, but at least I played enough to know zones and to know the game where you got to be able to talk about it. So like You need to put yourself in these situations in any sport. Baseball, I'd put myself in that situation. I'd put myself, you know what I mean? Any sport we did, when we did football, I'd do the same shit. I would try to be like, okay, this is what I would do here. It doesn't mean you're fucking crowning yourself. Like, don't take shots. The guy doesn't run around crowning himself. I don't remember Tony ever saying, "Oh, I hit on all my predictions." Like, if he said all that shit, then attack him. He don't say a word. He goes and does his job. I mean, I hate defending a cowboy, but I like Tony. Always have. He was a damn good quarterback in this league. That doesn't mean you're going to be great in the booth, but he's been damn good in the booth. There's like Troy.
Yeah, he's been really good in the booth. Yeah. I think the thing about Romo too is that when he starts talking, he'll say something like "Watch out for this player," and it just like he's spot on. He's typically spot on his on the situation. He has a very good feel of game situation. in-game situation. So when there's something happen, when it's third and short, the down and distance, he's like, watch out for this little fleet. They like to do this here. Or like he's a very smart mind. I didn't know he was that smart until I heard him.
That's spot on. That's what I'm saying. It's not about just running past. Like, Gruden's acting like, he's just talking, everybody knows a run's going to come there. Everybody's going to know a pass is going to come there. That's not true. You know what I mean? Like, it's what he says, about, what's going to happen. So I agree with you, Nate.
His timing. His timing of it too. Like it's not like he's doing it every series, every play. It's in specific spots. Like when we play football in college, there's always specific spots. There's like almost you could say there's 3 momentum shifts in a football game. There's always around 3 momentum shifts in a football game. And Tony knows specifically when those are going to happen. And he then sets it up for the rest of the game as he's talking. So it's like he's a great storyteller. Like he's a great storyteller up there.
Pittsburgh game. Remember the Pittsburgh game in the playoffs? When they didn't go for it, and he smoked them for it, and he said, all the momentum. Yeah, because that's one of the momentum shifts that we talked about at home too. I mean, he Sleeps was right in the chat about it. So I mean, we talked about them things at home, and he said it right when it happened too. So it's like, come on. I mean, give the guy some credit. I actually got one real quick, Greg, and then go ahead.
Yeah.
Mine's Miles Sanders. I love Miles. He reshares A2D in his Instagram stories. He's a fan of A2D. I'm a fan of Miles. Okay? Love Miles. He's an Eagle. All right? But I try to keep things 100% here. During this whole period of everything that's transpired here, since the end of the year, during the year, everything. Okay? Last year, you told us you were going to be the MVP of the league. Fine. I love setting goals.
High goals.
You actually, in your Instagram story yesterday, really put in Super Bowl champions coming soon or something to that level. That's what you're putting in your Instagram story right now. First off, we're a train wreck. Second off, your owner said 2 to 5 years. Lock in. I love you, one, to think you're going to win, but time and place for everything you do as an athlete. There's time and place. Do you really think the timing of that is perfect, or is that a shot at your fucking quarterback, you loser? Okay? You loser. I got no time for this. And I call him a loser with all due respect, obviously. And when I say loser, I say you didn't live up to potential this year. How many drop passes did you have? How much availability did you have? How many fumbles did you have? So before you go Super Bowl talking, because your quarterback's gone, and you want to get on your knees for Jalen, fine. Have a little damn respect for a guy who did win games here and who has played at an MVP level and never said he was going to be one. I'm tired of the shots on the way out.
On your knees, talk.
No respect for guys. It's disgusting what goes on with guys, how they don't respect teammates, and they want to take guys' knees out when they're already fucking down. He's already down.
It's the social media world, Tommy.
Tom, tell him how you feel again. Tell him how you feel again.
He didn't. I like Miles. Shut up. This team
Now let's be straight. You can't tell another man that you ain't shit and you getting on your knees and then try to clean it up and say, I like him.
I got a personal disclaimer.
I'm hitting the unfollow button now. There's no way. There's no way.
Hold on.
Tough to break bread with a guy like that. I agree.
Tough to break bread, brother.
I got a predisposed disclaimer that says I say with all due respect and I love you before I smoke you. And then I love you again. But
just because you say with all due respect doesn't mean you can say with anything you want.
It does. I create my own. No, but I do like Miles as a player is what I'm saying. And I do like him as a dude. Like I do. But it's like, I mean, you got to start growing up and just realize the time and place. You want to say it in 3 months from now? Talk Super Bowl. Fine. I don't want my players not thinking.
Like, what, did he get traded to KC? Is that why he's talking Super Bowl? What's going on here?
No, that's fine. Go ahead, Greg.
Nah, mine's just a personal crumb. Yesterday I was out golfing with the pops, and we had a foursome, and there was a twosome behind us on the first tee. We had a twosome behind us, and we go, hey, why don't you guys go ahead of us? You're a twosome. Go ahead of us, right? We know we're not always the fastest. Couple old guys, right? We get done the first tee, and the ranger comes up to us and says, hey guys, can you pick up the pace a little bit? I look him square in the face and I said, after the first hole? And he just drove away in his cart. We ended up playing a round of golf in 3 hours and 40 minutes, which is really good.
Fast.
So shove this, move it a little quicker up there. It was
did the twosome pass you?
No, never passed this.
So wait, they were like, "Now we'll stay behind you."
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We asked them. We said, "Hey, you're a twosome on the first tee before we even tee off. Hey, do you guys want to go ahead? You're a twosome. We understand, obviously."
And they said no?
They said, "No, we're early for our tee time. You guys go ahead."
Wow.
And the only reason we were late is because my first tee shot, we couldn't find it. So we spent it a couple times.
Shocker.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you were the slow guy.
I was.
I mean,
I was going to say you were the slow guy. Yeah, I mean, I didn't need
Milakovic and speed don't really go together.
In golf, I get to my ball to hit it, but
I didn't even mean in golf, just in general.
Usually, you're right. Golf is the only time I'm quick.
I'm gonna have one more. I just didn't want to have two. If somebody, I didn't want to take.
Yeah, I'll take us home. You go ahead. Yeah.
You're probably not gonna have the same guy. So I'm Jose Canseco. Talk about another guy who needs to go away. You know what I mean? A 5-second fight, the king of rats, the fraud of all frauds. Right? Has no problem opening his mouth, telling everybody who stuck needles and whose asses and shit like that. This guy can't even last 5 seconds in a round against another tomato can.
What a rat move by him too.
What a scumbag piece of shit he is. I mean, I'm so tired of Jose Canseco. I hope he crawls in a hole. And
I didn't even know he was still alive.
He got 1.2 mil for that.
Yeah, of course.
You know that?
He's a fucking piece of shit.
Portnoy was saying he gave him $50,000 to do it, but then he gave him like 10% of the purse, and they had the biggest pay-per-view sales they ever had. So Canseco got 1.2 mil for 5 seconds and pretend like his shoulder was hurt. What a fucking crumb.
Piece of shit, bro. Just wanted to make sure he got on our segment.
I like how everyone's been trashing him since it happened, though. I love it. All over social media, everyone's trashing them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about that one, but I got one for y'all. Y'all might not know. I got crumb of the day, man. Crumb of the day for me is TJ Watt. TJ Watt set up I saw it earlier today. I was looking. It reminded me when you guys were talking about it, and he put up the Jordan The Last Dance meme. I took that personally, meaning because he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year. TJ. You know who Aaron Donald is? Like, do we understand who Aaron Donald is? And I get it. You had a fucking phenomenal year. One maybe for the record books. But what Aaron Donald does day in and day out, double team, triple team. He led the league or in the top statistics in everything as a defensive tackle. From tackles lost, from sacks. It's ridiculous what he is. I always thought that either Jerome Brown or Warren Sapp, and think on the older days, what's his name from the Rams? I think it was Deacon. I think he played both DN and defensive end. They were always my favorite defensive players, obviously, and Reggie White. But we have never seen anything like Aaron Donald. 7 years in the league, and he's won the Defensive Player of the Year 3 times.
And every time, well-deserved.
Well-deserved.
Coming from the interior side. You're talking about it's harder coming from the interior side to put up the numbers he does when he's getting doubled and tripled. When you're talking about coming from the end, that's why the ends get more sacks. They're supposed to get more sacks. They play the end. The fact that he's 13.5 sacks and he's getting double, triple teamed from the inside makes it even harder.
And it's consistency. He does it every goddamn year. This is not a one-hit wonder. He has a Hall of Fame resume now.
Add on his brother, too. Add on J.J. Watt in the crumb, too. He's coming out. I know it's your brother. Shut up. Shut up. You're all disrespecting this man saying, well, we're not trying to disrespect him. Yes, you are. By even bringing it up, you're disrespecting him. I get it. He had a great year. Shut up.
Yeah, sometimes you play in an era or you play in a decade where there's a guy that's that good. You know what I mean?
It sucks.
It's a shame. You know what I mean? Like Albert Pujols could have 7 MVPs, but Barry Bonds was in the league. You know what I mean? Like hot dog neck, juice, whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? Like Albert Pujols didn't bitch about it. He said, "Hey, I finished second." You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry.
It sucks. I get it. It really does suck. But and I think he's gaining the steam of this conversation. And he right now in our generation, he's the best defensive player we've ever seen.
Easily.
From
what he does in the interior of a defensive line and the havoc he can wreck. Listen, it's mind-boggling. There's not. I haven't.
Yeah, and then you said the conversation. It was like he was 1A and Cox is 1B, and I'm like, you don't understand. Cox is a force, but he is not Aaron Donald. There's levels to this, as they say, and Donald's by himself. There's nobody close to around him. He is a goddamn man-child.
Quickness, speed, power. There isn't a guy at the defensive tackle position be able to do that. He does it because most D tackles don't have that speed.
He's a D tackle with a six-pack. I mean, you don't need to say much more.
Yeah.
That's what these boys look like now, though. You saw Lane Johnson out here, and Lane is a freak too.
Yeah, these guys are all.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say, man. I was trying to think of one when you guys was thinking that popped in my head. Definitely, man. Crumb of the day, man. TJ
Like,
fucking
yeah,
Watt.
any other guy wins it other than Donald Watt. Go ahead, go off. You know what I mean? Yeah. Any other guy, but you can't say anything against
You can't say you took it. I get it, maybe a little bit of inside motivation and stuff like that, and it gives you stuff, but to say that like you had a right to shut up. No.
And then plus, look at your team. Your team was a bunch of tomato cans after you went 11-0.
Yeah, stop it. And I like TJ. I think he plays the game the right way, but we're talking about Aaron Donald, man. It's retarded. Like we remember, I think it was the 1 year they talked about he could have been the MVP of the goddamn league. Like he had like 15 or 16, like it was ridiculous.
Yep.
Like because I think who was it? Lawrence. LT was the only defensive player who's ever won the MVP, and that's when that talk. But that's the way he was going. Because I think he was like 18 sacks.
That's why they went to the Super Bowl.
Ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Like what are we talking about here? He's literally. There's only like a couple complete football players like ever that you've ever seen play, and he's one of them.
For sure.
Like, just
There's nothing
complete
you can't do.
football players. He was made to play football. He can probably dunk a basketball or do something else, but he was made to play football. Period.
You won't get that argument. It's LT for me all day, but I know what you're saying. Absolutely, there's no argument. You know what I mean?
I saw the old LT.
LT for me is just
but seeing the highlights of LT play, he was a dog. He was a dog, man.
First 4 years in the league, he made every tackle on the field.
Yeah, he was high as tight on it. He was a dog and high as hell. You know,
his time too. Like that was Sweeps' like prime time, like seeing LT play. We got him a little bit later.
Yeah, he's dating you, Sweeps.
Yeah, he was LT, and then Reggie was special too.
Yeah.
Watching Reggie play and the way they played, because he was a throwback defensive end. He was like 6'3", 6'4", almost 300 pounds. The hump moon was just classic.
Chuck.
He was just like I've never seen anybody throw Larry Allen.
And he threw everybody.
And he leveled Larry. Larry went 5 yards. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like don't get me started, man. I love some.
Yeah, don't say me too. Like there's just guys. There's certain guys in every year that are they just stand out, and they're unbelievable, and they'll last forever. You know what I mean? Like I feel like LT could run with wide receivers. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like you could have played him at corner, and it was such a monster. I don't know.
So sorry about that. Sorry that tangent, man. But crumb of the day. Loves old football.
Sorry about it.
Yeah, man. And I just want to throw out there, man. Everybody, if you guys missed the bets on the prop bets, if you came onto the show late, go ahead and follow me on Money Pop Podcast on the gram or Twitter. I'll just repost them all that we talked about today, just to make sure you guys get that.
Love it. Family, thank you for joining us. Nate.
Great having you, Nate. Great having you.
We appreciate it. Obviously, come on days, and hopefully we'll get back. We'll get to some Saturdays again shortly here.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll get to some Saturdays.
I'll get there.
We'll figure it out Saturdays, but I'm on there Wednesday with you boys. So see you boys Wednesday.
Giddy up.
We'd like to thank our doc for sponsoring every Sunday show. Make him yours. He couldn't make it today. Let me know. Couldn't make it. Chimed in how he couldn't make it, but he took the Chiefs. And you can find the doc in Burlington and Cherry Hill locations, or find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We also have to give a shout out to a new sponsor as a part of A2D Radio, Body Check Wellness. And you can use promo code A2D for 20% off at checkout. And listen, I mean, Body Check's a great product, but it's a line of products that promote wellness, balance, and recovery by using the full potential of hemp. And it's really cool. They come in extracts, blends, gummies, and topicals. And I just bought a wellness pack, saved like $150. But I take the clarity and focus, and I love it, and I live by it. And I said the other night, like you get the cobwebs, you get them little cobwebs we all get. Everybody knows about the cobweb talk.
Oh yeah,
I've been cobless. I mean, there's no webs, babe. There's no webs anymore. It's unbelievable. I could do 14 shows a week. All right, I could do with the clarity and focus. I could do 14 a week. If that's not a seller for you, I don't know what is. I don't know. Maybe not great ones, but I could definitely do 14. Not gonna tell you they're great shows. I'm just telling you I can do 14. Because there's no webs. So get your web clear out. But guess what? They have tons of products and different certain situations, certain things you can buy for what you're trying to look for, right? So go check them out. Bodycheckwellness.com. Promo code A2D, 20% off. And every time Riley Cote's on with the boys on the Hockey Happy Hour, they'll be doing some 40% off of like a wellness package, which is pretty cool. And then Riley, this next time he's on, he'll be giving away the free jersey. So we thank you guys all for listening. And also, we got to give love to our other guy, the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. And we know many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues, and especially through COVID, it didn't help anybody. All right, but we're happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. And if you need help, please call 856-651-8117. Don't run away from it. All right. I mean, Rob Lutman, a guy that I know me and Wilson, we know for a long time. All right. If there's a guy I trust in this game, it's Rob. All right. You want to see the people been through the ringer and came out shining, and he has. And it's a guy who gets it. And these two places are phenomenal. And the mental health side of things, guys, you can do televisits, so you don't have to go in anywhere. All right. So you can stay home and talk to somebody. Right. And that's the advantage today, is you don't have to go anywhere. So if you need to talk to somebody, just give him a call. 856-651-8117. Tell Rob we sent you. Tell Rob Tom sent you. All right, whatever on that side, okay? But tell Rob we sent you. We love Rob, and we're happy to have him a sponsor here as A2D. So, and we're happy to help anybody that's dealing with any type of issues, not trying to make it into a doom and gloom. We all have some sort of demon, you know what I mean, that we all deal with. So if you have it bigger than others, we're here to help. Fam, listen. Big day, man. Super Bowl Sunday, no matter who's playing, always a special day.
Enjoy the game. Enjoy the commercials.
Yep. Hopefully
the halftime show.
No Budweiser commercial this year. First time in 37 years I saw.
Wow.
Yeah, no Bud. Wow. That's interesting. So listen, enjoy your prop bets. Nate says he's going to post them all up again. Enjoy your prop bets. Enjoy your bets, period. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the food. And enjoy, I think, what's going to be a damn good football game, hopefully. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. So for Tom Arnone, Greg Milakovic, Brian Wilson, Nate Moss, Nick DelGozzo, the family out there, we love you. We thank you for the comments. We thank you for subscribing. If you're just in now, hit the like button on YouTube, hit the like button on Facebook, retweet it, subscribe to all our channels, turn your damn alerts on. All right. The takeover's here, the best in the business, never notes. And we got shows every day for all types of different sports that you like. You like wrestling, we got you. You like combat sports, we got you. Right? You love the Eagles, we got you. You love the Sixers, Flyers, we got you. All right. The only thing we don't got you on, well, we do. We got you on the Union. We got you on soccer. We got you on everything. Whatever it is you need, we're givers. We're givers. Now I'm going to end this by saying one last thing. This kid needs to get here. We out.